in the bowl. I'm such a 90s kid, huh?
There you go.
Pow! And we're back. I genuinely don't know what's happened. No idea. My internet stayed alive. It's just YouTube went, you know what? I don't like Transformers. We're done. So we carried on talking about Transformers, but I don't think anyone heard, unfortunately. So again, it's one of them. It's happened before. We're used to it by now, annoyingly. But yeah, we are back, which is a brand new link. So I might take a couple of minutes here just so I can post it on my Instagram and my Twitter. And then we'll get back into it. But thank you to anyone who's clicked the link and you're back already. Much appreciated. Or anyone watching on the replay, this is part 2. Go back and watch part 1. Great conversation talking about Marvel, Star Wars, G.I. Joe. Yeah. And then as soon as we got Transformers, it cut us off. So we're starting part 2 with Transformers. But I'm just going to go and post this on my Twitter.
Just while Dan's doing that, Rob, if we backtrack, I think, so you were saying...
Yeah, go back, Rob. Remember everything you said about Transformers and say it again.
Yes, go. Oh, wait, Rob, you're on mute.
Yeah, you've muted yourself, Rob. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Mm-mm. Check the actual thing.
It's all right.
All right, we good?
Yeah, it's good. Told you, YouTube's trying to take us down, Rob. That's all it is.
It does that to me sometimes. I'll accidentally click something and it just mutes me.
All right, well, we're all set then. Sorry, guys. Yeah, I'm old enough to have been around since, the original incarnation. I watched that in Generation 2, but Beast Wars is where my fandom for Transformers really blew up. And I had the toys. You guys talked earlier about how you like to kind of create your own television shows with your toys as a kid. My mom had a typewriter from college. It was in a suitcase. I would open it up. I would type out my own scripts for Beast Wars before I played Beast Wars with my brother. So that's how into it we were. And my fandom went on through Transformers Armada and Energon, that whole War for Cybertron trilogy. And then I kind of fell out of it. I enjoyed the first Bay movie and the second one and the third one, but then after that I was kind of done. I didn't see animated, but then now with Netflix, I'm kind of back. As far as the collecting of the toys go, I had the original Beast Wars toys. I still have some of them, but I also got into collecting the classic-looking Transformers around the time of Generations. So this was 2009, 2010. So I've got Starscream and Thundercracker, Optimus, several of them. And currently I've got Black Arachne on pre-order for Transformers Kingdom. So I'm looking forward to the new Beast Wars figures coming out.
What's the Netflix run about at the moment? Is it or am I going to get into it and then spend too much money on Transformers?
Yes to the second. The first part is it appears to be, and I haven't seen this explained anywhere, but it appears to be a prequel to the original G1 cartoon. Okay. But it seems like they may change direction once it gets to Earth. So, but that's all I really know. I don't currently subscribe to Netflix, so I'm not sure if the second season is out yet. I know it's on the way.
No, it's not.
But
it's not.
It's not? Okay. So would you say that's the same thing then, Dan? Were you watching the first season?
So I've not watched the first one yet, but as I said, I'm at that age where Transformers has always been a toy line in my life. I've never actually seen the 1986 movie. Never seen it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's one of those where a lot of people seem to be shown it by their parents, but it was something that was never put under my nose. As a kid growing up on VHS, never had Transformers. I seen the shows growing up, but like yourself, my biggest Transformers memories are all about Beast Wars. Loved Beast Wars with that dodgy 3D, early 3D animation. Do you know, like, that's so I remember Beast Wars mainly as a kid. And then obviously it wasn't until I got a bit older I went and learnt the history about Transformers and stuff like, I know it sounds stupid, but you know, like the Toys That Made Us on Netflix.
I love that series.
Exactly.
That's
like,
a great series.
Stuff like that makes me appreciate the toy lines even more. And it's crazy to think how mad Transformers goes back in time in regards to how it started and what it is now. But for me, it's all about the characters as well. Like, I love each character. And like, I love the Bay films. I know a lot of people, I don't know if that's a good or bad thing. I know Brandon's a fan as well, but I love the Bay films. So when those films came out, it made me backtrack and learn more about what Transformers were, if you know what I mean. So I've got 2 shelves. They're literally right next to me, but I can't pull the camera off to show you. I've got one shelf, which is the Transformers Siege line. So I've got like, I don't know, about 10 or 11 figures. A mix. I try and keep it even, a mix of good guys and bad guys. So Autobots, Decepticons in Earthrise and Siege. And I'm definitely going to be getting some of those Beast Wars. And then my other shelf, which I can actually grab one now, is the whole Bay Transformer lineup. So these Studio Series figures, this is Ironhide with the update. I don't know what weird third-party Japanese company does it, but they give you an upgrade where you can change the legs to like these die-cast legs and give him extra weapons and stuff. So like, he actually gets his own guns that you never got with the Studio Series. So Ironhide's my favourite. I love that he's the weapon specialist. I love his attitude in those stupid Bay films. And forever they will. I just like those films. I love. And Megan Fox is hot as well. And who's the girl in the third one? Is that Amber Rose?
Oh, Rosie something, I think.
Oh
Rose?
my God,
Rose?
she is so hot.
Something Whiteley, something like that.
Like,
maybe.
It doesn't matter if you don't like Transformers. Watch the third.
That scene when she's walking up the steps.
Wow, honestly, watch that third Transformers film just for her alone. But yeah, Transformers. Yeah. I've got 5 Studio Series, which are the 5 original Transformers from the Bay series, and that is where I've sort of that's my rules. I've went right. I just want the original lineup done, and then with Siege, I've just brought any figure that I actually like the look of. So I've got characters like is it Springer and Impactor and Grappler? Do you know, like just weird characters that I don't really know anything about this character, but I like the colours, I like the look, and I transform them once just to see how it is, and then I put them in robot mode and they go back on the shelf. Do you know? So that's
but the colors, right? I mean, like when you're a kid, you don't know all the names. Like it's the colors you go for when you're
exactly. So I definitely had Transformers as a kid, but I didn't love them. I can't remember as much as like who I had or what I had, but I definitely would have had Transformers as a kid. But I really like this Siege line, and I've been picking and choosing, and that's one of those. This is one of my, should I call it a casual line, where I have no rules. I just pick just one here and there. Do you know, just so I have them But I've got a modest little collection. But Beast Wars is where it's at. So any of those Beast Wars figures coming up, I'll be getting. And so far, it's the Cheetah, Optimus Primal. They've got the little rat as well.
Megatron,
the rat trap. Yeah, they've got the spider. So yeah, like Beast Wars, I'll be getting all of them. But yeah, Transformers. Yeah, it's an iconic toy line, isn't it? And it will be hopefully forever be evolving. And sometimes it's hit and miss, but I think the Siege is a pretty big hit. And it does make me intrigued to watch the show, but I'm worried about watching the show because what happens if there's a character in that I love and I don't have it in figure form? I'm going to have to go and get it anyway, so maybe I should avoid watching the show.
The reason why I was just laughing hysterically just then, Juan Sanchez says in the chat, Megan Fox is my favorite Autobot.
Honestly, Michael Bay, whether you like Michael Bay's filmmaking or not,
I love those films. I was saying to Rob when we froze that I grew up on those films.
Sorry, Brandon. Yeah, you can't say everything exactly you just said. My bad.
Yeah, I love saying to Rob because I grew up on those films. I love those films. I've got all of the Autobots and most of the Decepticons up in a box in the loft from that first film to the third film. I absolutely adore those 3 films. So. So Transformers has a very special place in my heart. The other thing I was saying, and I want to get the chat's perspective on this as well. The thing I was saying to Rob was the the 3-0 Transformers. So there's the Optimus Prime, and there was the Bumblebee from Bumblebee, and they've just revealed a Bumblebee from the Last Night, which I think is number 4.
That's right. Yeah.
4 or 5, I think.
No,
right?
is that the 5th one? The 5th one's the one where they had the Knights in Armor, right? Yeah.
Maybe, yeah. Yeah, so
Yeah.
the 5th was Knights of Armor, I think, so 4 was like the Dinobots.
Age of Extinction, is that the name of that
Yes. 'Cause
Oh, yeah.
the 4th one's the first one with Mark Wahlberg in it. So
So, yeah, you're right. So Last Night must be number 5.
it is, yeah.
one? Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Yes. Yeah. So, but it's 175 pounds or something like that. Call it 180 pounds, right? Like I say this to Dan all the time. Do I get 180 pounds 3-0 Bumblebee figure, knowing that I will never need to buy another Bumblebee again? It has all the light up bits. It's die cast. It has all the accessories. Or do I buy 8 new Marvel Legends, or 4 new Marvel Legends, 4 new Black Series, or 3 Black Series, 2 Lightning Legends? And
This is how collectors do math, isn't it? This is how we do
Right.
math. We're like,
Totally.
how many Marvel Legends is that? Yeah.
Because the budget is not limitless. You know, you want to stay within certain rules. You want to try and be sensible, but it looks freaking amazing, man.
Yeah, I know. Exactly same situation, Brandon, where I have this Ironhide, this Studio Series Ironhide. I love it. It's great. But then on Kapow, they put the movie masterpiece Ironhide up for sale for £40, reduced from like 100 and something pound. And I'm like, do I get it? But then it won't be in scale with my Studio Series, and then I'm going to have to go back and buy the movie masterpiece other ones. I'm like,
Yeah. And that's the thing for me as well is with Transformers, it was always hard to, there were so many different lines, and it was always hard to get the definitive line with the definitive scale. I always found that a pain in the butt.
What are your thoughts on starting off with Rob on the Red series? Do you know where it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the non-transforming
Yes.
with the articulation.
Yes.
I mean, in concept, I think it's awesome. Unfortunately, the figures don't do anything for me. But I totally get why somebody would want them, and I think the ACBA with those is going to be amazing once it starts rolling out. That wasn't a pun I intended to make.
Roll out. Brandon, I think you and me are on the same page, right? I go on.
Yeah. We both cancelled them, didn't we?
Yeah, so
did you? Okay.
Yeah, so I had all 3 of the first 3 on pre-order: Soundwave, Megatron, Optimus. I was very intrigued by this line. I was actually ready to go all in. I was like, I like this concept. I hope this first wave is good. And then the first couple of reviews and pictures shown that they don't even scale with Legends. They're like shorter than they'd be shorter than Hellfire Hank. They're literally.
It's like the Ghostbuster problem.
Yes, they're too small. And I know they're not meant to be any particular. They're their own scale, but in my head, I wanted them to be, I don't know, at least taller than a Legend. I don't know what I expected.
I'm thinking somewhere in the region of like 6 to 9 inches.
Sure.
You know?
Well, it's interesting. I mean, it reminds me of when the DC Icons came out, right? Like, you're talking about an articulated Transformers line, and Hasbro's making it. The expectation is going to be there that it's going to be like a 6-inch scale figure. And I remember when the DC Icons came out, I think it was DC Direct that made those, right?
Yep.
And they called them the Icons to play off of the idea of Legends, and like, this is going to be the line that like competes with Marvel Legends. And then they come out and they're all like 5.5 scale, and they just didn't really line up with Marvel Legends. So I think that ultimately is what killed the line.
Those figures weren't even in scale with each other. That was a problem as well.
Yeah.
Like,
I know articulation as well.
Yeah, but we're getting to DC.
Yeah.
DC is one of our topics, but we'll move on to our next one. This next one, hopefully YouTube likes this one a little bit more, and I can pull up the I'll pull up the picture if it lets me. But I'm scared of it crashing on me as well, so we shall see. One sec. If I can't get the picture up, I can just tell you what it is. I could sing the theme tune if you'd prefer. All right.
Please do.
Okay.
I'm trying to guess what's next.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh, here we
Teenage
go.
Mutant Ninja
All right, don't get a
Turtles.
copyright strike.
Oh yeah, that's happened many times on the channel, annoyingly. Right, so yeah, I can't get the picture up, but I definitely need to talk about Ghostbusters, Turtles, right? So
Yeah.
So before we ask everyone who the best turtle is, because there's only one answer for that, but yeah, Turtles is one of the first things I remember as a kid loving. Before Power Rangers, before Pokemon, before Action Man, all of that, Turtles was always on. So when I was a kid, Rob will know what it's like. We were much older than Brandon here. There was no internet. There was no... We're going to make ourselves seem really old, but you know what I mean. There's no internet. There was no DVDs.
Without the internet?
Yeah, exactly. No internet, no
Once upon a
DVDs, no like streaming. All you had was whatever you had on VHS, which was a random pile of Disney films, and then whatever else should be brought. And my mum, would be fair to her, buy us all the Turtle VHS tapes. So as a kid, it was Turtle Power all day long. I loved the Turtles, and I had the Playmates toys, of course. So with the toys and the TV and the cartoon show, Turtles was one of those things as a kid I loved. And then now, as an adult, they're making the most movie accurate, the most TV, comic, cartoon accurate figures that have ever been made. And it's crazy that 30 years later, this is what we're getting. So before I go around and ask everybody, I need to just say that I'm all in for everything Neca, cartoon, Turtles. Anything in the cartoon Turtle I'm buying. Even the characters that are not my favourite characters, I feel like I'm all in. I need to buy them. I can't just skip 1-2 pack. Do you know what I mean? I've got to go all in and complete this whole team. And then the movie line is amazing as well. Some of the best Neca figures, full stop. Love that movie as a kid growing up. I watched them out of sync as a kid. I was really confused. I watched the second one before I watched the first one. And I even had the vinyl of the Turtle soundtrack as well as a kid. I have an evil memory of, because I loved that so much. I think my dad, I did something wrong. I don't know what I did wrong. I was clearly very naughty. My dad literally snapped it in front of me.
Oh, no.
Literally snapped it or threw it against the wall or something. I just remember like picking up the piece of this broken Turtle wrap vinyl going, no.
Oh.
So that's a horrible memory I have of the Turtles. But I've said this before, that there is still Turtle wallpaper behind the radiators at my mum's house in my old bedroom. Like, still there.
Nice.
So Turtles has been a long love of mine. Very happily collecting the movie stuff and the cartoon stuff. What about yourself, Rob? You're at the right age for Turtles, right? So
I'm at the very right age, yeah.
Yes.
First of all, just on the vinyl question, was that the vinyl that came attached to the box and Ninja Turtle cereal, or did you have a different vinyl?
No, just the actual vinyl release of the Turtle rap song. It wasn't the Vanilla Ice
Oh,
one.
the Vanilla Ice song, okay. Because I had a vinyl too, but it was the cartoon theme and it came with cereal.
Oh, no, I didn't know that. Didn't know they had that. Gonna eBay that.
They did the same thing for the Ghostbusters cartoon as well. You get the Ghostbusters theme on vinyl if you bought the cereal.
Oh, wow.
So I've been a fan since, the original show. I didn't know about the comics until probably mid-90s when it was like the Archie stuff that I was seeing around.
Same.
But,
I didn't know comics existed until I was an adult. I just thought it was cartoons and toys.
Yeah. So I was in on the original Playmates line, stuck with it for a while. Actually, I got introduced to the Playmates line by going to my grandparents' house. Again, you're talking about no internet. And they gave my brother and I, we each got 2 of the Turtles, and we thought these things were awesome. And then it turned out there was a cartoon to go with it. So, it was just kind of like one of those, explosion of discovery moments. But I stuck with it through the 80s to 90s cartoon. I was a huge fan of the 2003 cartoon. I've got a lot of the figures from that series. And I like the 2007 movie. I like the 2012 cartoon. I mean, I'm a big Turtles fan. My fandom is kind of waning a little bit. Rise of the TMNT didn't do it for me. But overall, I'm in for Turtles, man. I buy the video games. I've read a bunch of comics since then. So, yeah, I'm all in.
What about you, Brandon?
So for me, so I grew up on those 90s Turtles movies, and then the turtle heart of my turtle heart is the animated series from 2003.
It's a good one.
I love that series, man. If Neca or any company brings out, some highly articulated, nicely premium deco of those versions of the Turtles, I'll cry. I will cry. I love that series so much.
See, that is how I feel about the current Neca 2-packs and figures. It's that is the type of nostalgia. So that would be your version of that.
Yeah, we got a super chat.
Okay, thank you very much. Mark Tat, the Army Building King. Let's see if Friday reads it out. As I said, you know what YouTube's like. It's messing us up today, but we'll give it a second. And Brandon, let me just show you this. You'll be proud of me, right? So we'll talk about who's favourite turtle in a minute, but I seen this on eBay at a good price, and I just had to get it. I have no idea why. So I've got...
Yeah, see, I love...
Nice.
Donatello, the best turtle, but we'll save that for a minute. We're saved Donatello. This is the 2003, am I right?
That's correct. Yes, wave 1. Yeah.
There we go. There's our super chat. Thank you very much.
Tac Customs donated £4.99 through super chat. I'm so old. My figures were old age mutants, prehistoric samurai dinosaurs.
Thank you very much, Mark Tatek. He says, I'm so old, my figures were old age mutant prehistoric samurai dinosaurs. Yeah, you're not wrong, my friend. And so this is the 2003, like we just said.
Yeah,
So,
I love that entire series. I wish that was on Netflix or something so that I could just binge watch it back. Because that's what is a real testament to a good franchise, right? There are, look, there you go.
There you go. That's about. I'm gonna have to open this up anyway.
When I was a kid, and that's the thing, because a good franchise can just transcend time, right? Like, you guys knew a completely different version of the Turtles. We crossed over with, say, the 90s movies Turtles, and then I knew a completely different. I grew up with a completely different cartoon version of the Turtles.
It's generational, isn't it? It's generational.
Yeah,
that's the right word.
That's what I love about them, is that they're just
Nickelodeon have kept it alive, haven't they?
Yeah, well, I would say Ciro Nelli with his 2012 cartoon has really kept the Turtles alive. I think interest died down, and that show was so amazing at retelling original stories while acknowledging that the 80s show happened, paying homage to it where it was appropriate, but also like kind of making fun of it where it was appropriate, and then still like doing the dark stuff that they wanted to do. I think that was just the best, I think, of the 3 shows that we've had so far, is that 2012 cartoon.
I need to go back and watch them, because I genuinely, I remember it so vividly as a kid. I remember episodes. I remember specific bits from episodes. That's why I love Neca, because all the little Easter eggs in the boxes, I actually know what they're from. Do you know? I recognize them. But like, I never watched any of the other ones. Do you know when Turtles turned into the live action sort of the continuation of the movies in
the next mutation?
Yeah. So I didn't like that. Like, they even crossed over with In Space Power Rangers. Am I right? Did they? That happened?
They did.
Is that a crazy dream, or did that happen? Yeah. So I didn't like that. I don't know why I didn't like that growing up, but I stayed away. I'd stayed away from it. So I never really. Because that female turtle came around.
Venus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, just for the sake of having a female turtle, I think, or they must have needed to hit Nickelodeon needed to hit a quota or something, because I don't know where that was. She ever in the comics? Was she genuinely created just for the TV show? I have no idea.
She was created to bring female viewers into the show. Saban was actually in charge of the Turtles at the time, the guy who did Power Rangers.
There you go. So it is a quota. That's what I mean, and it shows as well. It's like, just here's a female for the sake of a female, which I don't like it when people do stuff just for the sake of it. But anyway, I need to go back and see that 2003 cartoon that you're on about. The 2012 one's like the animated graphics one, isn't it? Right?
It's all CG.
Yeah, that's the one I meant. Yeah, and that had a movie as well.
Not a theatrical film. There's a film in 2007 that was just called TMNT.
I love that film.
Okay.
Canonically, that's the 3rd film in the Turtles movie line. Like, it references the original 3 movies.
Oh, wow. I did not know that. So it's a continuation of the live action ones.
It is, yeah.
Oh, okay. That makes me more intrigued to see that, because I had no clue that was the thing.
I'm a big fan of it.
Question: how close are you to Milton Keynes?
Couple of hour drive, I think.
Oh,
why? You know some turtles?
There's a cellar with pretty much all of those 2003 turtles in their boxes.
Oh, okay. Send me a link. I can drive. Don't worry about it. I can get there.
They're selling April, Splinter, and Casey, all sealed in their boxes for £30, but they'll only do collection in person.
Oh,
that Casey is probably the best Casey Jones figure, at least in that sort of like 5-inch cheaper scale that we've ever received.
Agreed.
Articulated Heron says, "Oh no, Venus de Milo nightmares." That just reminds me of the episode of The Simpsons where Homer eats the Venus de Milo. But yes, it's Turtles, as we said, generational. Everyone loves it. So you were showing off some toys there, Rob. What do you collect? Any of the current lines, or do you just have nostalgic toys from the previous lines? What have you got?
Oh, I mean, I've got a bunch of. I don't have anything from the original Playmates line anymore, except for one cartograph. I just lost it throughout the years. But as far as 2003 goes, I've got the entire lineup of all the Turtles. I've got Hun. If you guys watched the 2012 cartoon, you're probably used to Hun looking like Bruce Lee. I think that's right? But on the 2003 cartoon, let me tear him out of the bag here. Hun was like this big guy who almost seemed like he was based off the big guy that was in the original live-action films.
Yeah.
So I collected everything pretty much for the 2003 show. And the 2012, I've got all of the basic figures. I've got the Chrome Space Turtles from that season. I was a huge fan. for whatever reason, Rise didn't resonate with me. And usually I try to get at least all 4 turtles of any incarnation. I've got like the 2007 version. I've got the original like Mirage turtles that Playmates did, but I wasn't even motivated to buy the 4 turtles for Rise of TMNT. I've just kind of fallen off at this point, and I don't have any of the NECA stuff. It's priced a little higher than I want to pay. One thing that was fun about the turtles is that they were usually bargain priced to begin with, so it was easy to collect them. And with Legends and everything else, I haven't gotten into the NECA stuff, but it looks awesome.
Yeah, you'd love the NECA stuff, Rob. Honestly, being such a Turtles fan, you really would. Both the movie, if you can get hold of those movie figures, you will not be disappointed. What have you got, Brandon? You just got the 4 movie ones.
So yeah, out on display, I've got the 4 movie ones with Splinter and Shredder. I did have the Playmate ones, the Walmart ones.
Okay, yeah.
Oh. The super articulated ones that Playmates did?
Yeah, The Secret of the Ooze.
Yeah.
Wasn't it, right?
I think that's right, yeah.
So I had, and they were movie versions as well, I think, right?
They weren't as good as the NECA versions, but yeah.
No. But so I had those Playmates versions, and I had the bands and the eyes repainted.
Oh, yeah.
By Customizer, and they look amazing with those. I only got those bits repainted. But then when NECA brought out theirs, those ones went into a box and they're up in the loft, bubble wrapped now, and so the NECA ones have taken over. But I think, I think the only thing Turtles wise that I'll get now is anything 2000. If they redo anything from 2003, that'd be the only thing I think I get. Other than that, I've hit my quota with Turtles.
Well, as I said, I'm all in NECA, both movie and cartoon. I'm an idiot. I've even pre-ordered everything that NECA have put up for pre-order on their site. So I've even got the turtle cartoon diorama thing.
Oh
yeah, got that on pre-order.
I've got the movie one right here in front of me.
I've got the movie 2-pack, the movie accessory pack on pre-ordered with that diorama piece. I've got the 2 mutants from the movie. Is it Razor and Tekka and Razor?
Okay. Yeah.
Token and Razor. Yeah, got them on pre-order. So, yeah, I'm all in. I've pre-ordered the next wave of next wave of cartoon ones as well. The only ones I don't have is anything comic. Not got anything comic based. I nearly did the loot crate. Do you know the loot crate where if you paid for all 3 loot crates in advance, you got the bonus cartoon figure with Bebop and Rocksteady, and at the time they didn't show you what Bebop and Rocksteady looked like, and I didn't want the money in the bank. Oh, pals, thank you very much. Articulated Heroines
donated £4.99 through Super Chat.
Thank you.
Rob, have you got Playmates Star Trek TMNT figs?
Thank you very much, Articulated Heroine. So he asks, Rob, have you got Playmates Star Trek and TMNT figs?
To my embarrassment as a turtle head and a Trekkie, no, I don't have them. I've looked at them at conventions several times, but they're always more than I want to pay for.
I was going to say, they must be really expensive now. Like, I know exactly what I'm about. It's basically, if anyone who doesn't know, it's the 4 turtles, but they're dressed up in the Star Trek uniform, essentially. That's right, Rob, right?
That's right, yep.
Yeah, so, like, they're pretty expensive. They're collectibles, obviously, and they're pretty expensive now on the aftermarket. But if you eBay it or whack it in your Google machine, you'll be able to see a picture.
It's a nice... Oh, I was just going to say, it's a nice snapshot in history, too, because they only happened because Playmates had the rights to Star Trek and TMNT toys at that time. Like, something like that wouldn't happen today.
Yeah, that would have to be a licensing agreement or something would happen, yeah.
Yeah.
But, so, as you can tell, we all love the Turtles to some degree. We all have our own little collections and rules within it, etc. But you let us know what you think. Tell us in the comments, hit or miss for Turtles. Let us know what you collect within Turtles, why you collect it. I'm always curious to hear. And as I said, everyone has their own rules. And no rules are the wrong rules. It's each to their own. But hopefully lots more Turtle figures to come in 2020. And Rob, if you can, get some of those NECA Turtles. They're so good, my friend, honestly. But as I said, you've seen me backtracking. But you know what? Let's end this segment with talking about the best Turtle and honour it to the best Turtle, which is, of course, Donatello.
Leonardo.
Sorry, I think something's wrong with your screen there, Dan. It looks like you have Donatello.
Yeah, I do have it's purple. Donatello, right? It's the best turtle, right?
I got to go Raphael, man.
Raphael, oh my God, Unparalleled would like you.
Bad on Michelangelo.
Unparalleled Universe would like you. Yeah, Unparalleled's always trying to get over Raphael, but he doesn't understand. The best turtle is a genius turtle.
Wow.
He does the machines, by the way. The theme song even says it. And he doesn't need swords or katanas.
Hold on. Sorry
He
to
just needs a
interrupt.
stick.
Look.
Oh, they announced it.
Okay, let me try and grab a picture. Can you send me that picture and I will.
It's on Rectangular's Instagram.
Of course, it's on Rectangular's Instagram. Todd, why didn't you let me know? I'm live here. I haven't got a producer to help me out with stuff like this. Oh, do you know what? I think he's right. Let me find out what's going on.
It was found at a Target in Colorado.
All right. Well,
it's on the Pizza Spidey buck.
By the way,
weird.
I love the idea. I love the fact that, by the way, all three of us like a different turtle. That is love. Someone in the comments, please.
Am I passing on this? I think I'll get.
Please tell us that you like Michelangelo because we feel bad for the guy.
Yeah, I feel bad on Michelangelo.
But I love Donatello. Rob likes Raphael, and Brandon loves Leonardo. Each to their own. And again, there's no wrong answer there, people. No wrong answer. Right, give me a second, and I'll try and get this.
The fact that Negative Zone Spidey is on the Pizza Spidey buck, I don't know if I will get it, but he has really good interchangeable hands, so I probably.
And it's just why I guess it's that case. Were we talking about that, Dan? Where they're talking about the different molding pieces, and that they can only do certain runs of certain types of molds at a time.
Yes,
and maybe that's the only way they can get this
true.
out.
Yeah, true.
Do you know what? The design isn't even accurate to the design that I thought it would be, weirdly.
I will probably get it and then just like put it under the Christmas tree for fun.
Let me see. Right. I'll see if I can pull up a picture.
Wait a minute. That's not the Pizza Spidey. That's the teenage Spidey. That's like the Miles. That's the ultimate Peter Parker, right? Look at the eyes.
Pizza Spider didn't have butterfly joints. That picture has butterfly joints.
Yeah.
So it's not the Pizza Spidey.
I think it's Ultimate Spider-Man / Miles Morales. That body.
No, that is Pizza Spidey. Pizza Spidey had the butterfly joints.
If someone can tweet me a picture, anybody in the chat can tweet me a picture of what we're talking about. I will throw it up on the screen. Blake with the super chat. Donatello. Correct answer, my friend, by the way. Correct answer. So that's one to me, by the way. I've got the chat on my side.
I just sent a screenshot to you on Twitter then.
Thank you.
Well, maybe it's a new head sculpt then. I'm sorry, I got to read that. The eyes, the molding around the eyes seems more pronounced than normal for being a Pizza Spidey.
All right, I'm gonna pull this up, people. I will pull it up. Told you, I'm a one-man machine over here, but we'll get it. Hopefully, hopefully it doesn't crash us, but we'll be fine. But that is very curious. I did not expect to see that. I bet the Hasbro team are annoyed because Friday they've got a nice little live stream going on. Okay, I don't want to mess anything up on my end and pull it up in case I mess anything up. So I'm not going to pull it up. I apologise. We are going to continue where we left off. But basically, people, if you want to know what we're talking about, Rectangular on Rectangular's Instagram has just posted a picture of the rumoured Negative Zone Spider-Man on the retro packaging. And it looks interesting. Let's just say that.
Just on this note, right, of Twitter and excitement, Katie Sackhoff just tweeted saying, "Is it Friday yet?" Right, he is rumored to be playing Bo-Katan in the live-action Mandalorian.
Oh, okay, so that's a big tease for that then as well. Interesting.
I'm totally wrong. Miles has totally different form factor. So yeah, that's definitely Pizza Spidey.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'm so excited. I love it.
I look forward to oh my goodness, Rosario Dawson as Ahsoka.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
Night Nurse.
Yes.
Amen. I love Rosario Dawson.
Right. There you go. Todd, you're interrupting my stream, you crazy lunatic. I'm a one-man team here, Todd. I ain't got.
We've been on Turtles for ages. I'm itching. What's next?
I haven't got a picture. Someone to put up a picture, but yes, head over to Rectangular's page, people. I'm sure. I know, but I can't pull it up. I'm gonna crash the stream again or something, so I'm scared. So I just want to continue. All right. So talking about Turtles, I just want to quickly just shout out Neca. Neca, obviously. Great. They don't just do Turtles. They have too many licenses to go through one-on-one.
Terminator.
So I just thought it'd be fun to give them a mention and see if there's anything that you collect. Because I know Brandon may have something on him.
Yeah, I got a few bits and pieces just to run through. First thing is...
Oh, Rocky.
Yeah, I got Rocky and Apollo. Apollo's down here somewhere. But Rocky was more towards at the front. So that's why I picked him up. I love these figures, these Rocky figures. I regret not picking up all of them when they first released and they were like 15, 20 pounds because now they're like £1 million. That's the way the cookie crumbles. One of my favorite modern greats.
Caesar!
Planet.
Oh, yeah.
I have all of the apes. I have doubles of some of them.
Oh, wow. I did not know this, Brandon. This is news to me.
Yeah,
I didn't know you had some of these.
So you've got all my Legend shelves, right? And then you've got a couple of Power Ranger shelves, and then you've got a G.I. Joe shelf. And then underneath that, I've got what I call like a movie masters shelf. So back in the day, there was like a movie masters line for The Dark Knight in DC and Batman. And I always got this idea in my head of a movie masters of all like the all-time greats that couldn't really have like their own shelf, but could all go on one shelf. And that's where my Rocky and Planet of the Apes all comes in terms of NECA. One other thing in terms of NECA.
There you go. That's what I was waiting for. That's what I knew you had in your hand.
Is the Terminator stuff. So I'm gonna open this right now.
A live unboxing. Okay, let me just see.
I've not opened it up yet.
Let me see if I can get you on screen.
I absolutely adore the Terminator franchise. I grew up with it. When my dad and I used to go to visit family in the States when I was a kid, one of the first things that we would do if we ever wanted to do a movie night is we would go to the nearest Best Buy and buy T2 Judgment Day on DVD. We must have like 6 or 7 copies of Terminator 2 on DVD because we used to just go and find the nearest Best Buy if we were going to do a movie night, and that would be the movie we would watch.
Right, nice. Brandon, you'll have to screen to yourself with the chat up what you're showing off. There you go. So, for the record, I have done a full review of Sarah and John Connor up on my channel right now. And you can go and check them out. So I'm a fan. You'll find out my thoughts in my review. But let's see what Brandon thinks.
I love the smell of NECA figures. I absolutely adore the smell of NECA figures. And I think these are the first NECA figures that I've actually opened in a long time. Do I have...
The chat wasn't popping up, so I'm putting this all back on screen, Brandon. The chat wasn't popping up next to you, annoyingly.
I don't have any scissors, so I'm attempting to cut these open with a...
Yeah, they've got a few little tabs.
Yeah,
I've got mine literally on display right next to Terminator. I just have the 3 of them. But while you're opening them, what NECA figures have you got, Rob?
I used to have the Ultimate.
While I do this, because otherwise it's gonna make loads of noise.
Oh, okay, Sam, mute yourself. Beautiful. Go on, Rob.
I used to have the Ultimate T2 Terminator and Sarah Connor and T2, but I sold them recently.
So basically, the ones that
NECA...
Brandon's opening now, you had them.
Yep.
Okay.
Pretty much. I wanted a John Connor for a long time, but I wasn't willing to pay for him and the motorcycle, and I'd already had Sarah, so I didn't want to do the 2-part. So I don't have those anymore, unfortunately. The only NECA figure I have, and I was trying to find it, I can't find it the second, is the Dead Space 2 Isaac Clarke figure. I'm a big fan of the Dead Space video games.
Okay,
it's an older figure.
I don't even know what that is. I'm going to hit the Google machine real quick. Dead Space 2.
Yeah, and this is probably like a 10-year-old figure now. But it was a pretty great representation of Isaac Clarke from Dead Space 2, and his mask would light up when you pushed a button on his back. So, pretty cool figure.
Clarke. NECA. I'm Googling it right now so I can see what you're talking
about.
I love me some 112 backpacks.
If you're going to hold that, you've got to say easy money.
Okay, he looks like a futuristic sort of bounty hunter robot that would fit right in the Star Wars universe.
He's a miner, actually, and that's his mining and welding armor. And the whole thing of Dead Space is that there's an alien virus that has turned people into what they call necromorphs. Basically, a human will turn into this horrific-looking zombie character. And the shtick of the game was that you don't go for headshots. You have to shoot off their arms and legs to be able to stop the guys from coming after you.
Ah, nice. I like that. Yeah, I've never played that, but that sounds pretty cool. But yeah, again, like Neca's done, as I said, they've got so many licenses. There is no way we could have went through them all. But Turtles is obviously their big one at the minute. Terminator is another one they're good. I just want to quickly shout out Gremlins. I have loads of the Gremlins.
Mm-hmm.
So there's Gizmo, he's always on the shelf above me. But I have loads of the Ultimate. I basically love what Neca are doing with the Ultimates line. With like, so if there's a character I like, I've got like a miscellaneous shelf, and I've got a couple of the. I've got It the Clown. I've got Annabelle, but I had to box her up and hide her in the attic because the missus hated that. But that's a whole different story. I'm looking forward to the Scream, the Ghostface, Ultimate Ghostface coming out soon as well.
Nice.
So yeah, I just love Neca that they have like these random Ultimate figures where you don't have to buy 10 figures in a wave to get a collection. It's just a one-off of a franchise, so you can have that franchise represented on the shelf in some form. So that's the same with my Terminator figures, like Brandon. I've now got John, Sarah, and Terminator just nicely sat on the shelf. That's all I need. I don't even need the bad guy. I just need those three to represent that film. And then Gremlins, they're just fun.
I'm 100% with you on that, Dan.
What you think of you? So the only thing about those figures that I disappointing Brandon is probably the face sculpts.
Yeah, this is the thing, right? Is that like, so I only got these because, literally, as you said as well, I got these just because, that piece of nostalgia on the shelf, that trio. But when you compare that where's the camera? But when you compare that likeness, right, of John Connor to even you
can get any MCU movie legend, any Star Wars of recent time.
It does not compare.
But I think, even though that John Connor is quite new, I think they purposely painted the face so it fits in with the previous released figures, because just think that Sarah Connor is a re-release of like a 10-year-old figure. Do you know? So if that Sarah was on the painted sculpt and then John had like a nicely 3D printed digital face print, they wouldn't sit well together. So I think Neca.
But some companies are charging like £60 for this set.
Really?
I would have redone I would have put a digital face scan on both of these.
I picked up the bike for a friend through MCU Collector. Basically, I sent all my exclusives from San Diego Comic-Con. I brought from Neca and sent them to MCU Collector, and Brian thankfully sent them over to me. And one of them I got was the John Connor and his bike, but it wasn't for me. It was for me to send on to a friend. And as soon as I got it in hand and opened it up, I was like, damn, I should have got this because it looked so cool. Because again, it's all about that nostalgia from that scene in the film. And I just love having that little visual representation on the shelf. But we'll go through to the next one because, as I said, Neca, we could be here all day. And this next one's another one that's going to get our... it's got a few talking points. So we're moving on to DC. Now, DC, I have a love and hate relationship with DC when it comes to action figures because I love the DC characters. Love DC. Batman's one of my favorite characters, full stop. Love everything DC are doing, but they just cannot find that definite line that you can continue to buy and grow on. So what are you saying, Rob? What's your thoughts on DC?
My thoughts are I'm waiting for that definitive line. Yeah,
yes,
I mean, I have
exactly.
I have some DC stuff. I did get Icon's Batman and Green Arrow, the Long Bow Hunters version. They're up a little high right now. Also, the DC did Mini-Mates, and I have some DC Mini-Mates, but I still haven't found that 6-inch scale line that's the one I'm jumping into.
So like you, I had that mentality, but I've been pulled into the McFarlane nonsense. So I've done a few reviews on the channel recently, and I went back and actually read the Dark Metals book. Well, I didn't read it. I watched it online, but still, I understand the book. And now I know the characters that the McFarlane toys are making. And, like, I've got them on my shelf literally right here in front of me. And, like, I think McFarlane have got me a little bit, at least to complete this Dark Metals team. Just to complete this. I want a Justice League, Rob. I want just a nice Justice League. They don't have, as long as they're in scale with each other, they don't have to scale with my Marvel Legends or Power Rangers or anything. As long as they've got their own little side of this display, Justice League, I'll be happy. So far we've got Batman and Superman. We've got a lot of Batmans, let's be honest. But I need the rest. I need the rest of the original, more iconic looks. The best, because at the minute they're giving us all these dodgy looks. Well, I want the iconic looks.
I'm not a stan for Teen Titans or anything, but that Cyborg that is like the animated style, that figure looks amazing.
But what's scary is that you buy that because it looks great, but we just don't know if you're going to get the rest of the team.
Very true.
So it's like, very true. I completely agree. You're like, yes, that looks great. But you don't just want Cyborg on the shelf. You want them all. So you just don't know when Todd's going because they're throwing figures out all over the place at the minute. Like, I love the idea that they're doing a Bane Build-A-Figure, but I hate that it's the grey Bane that's based on one comic run. Do you know, like, why couldn't it just been a generic-looking Bane that's appeared in several comics? Do you know? I don't know. Sure. It's McFarlane, like, they're pulling me in, but I don't know. Love, hate. What about you, Brandon?
Anyone in favor of Hasbro taking the DC license, raise your hand now.
I feel like monopoly laws won't let that happen.
I know, of course. Yeah.
Hasbro have the DC license. I mark my words, you will both go grey and old before you get your definitive line of DC figures.
I know, that's the annoying thing. That's the annoying. I just want the Justice League. There's just there's 6 or 7 characters.
I just want the big 3. Just give me Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman looking sick, and that's it. I'm happy.
Yeah.
From me again.
I don't understand why Mattel didn't just copy what Hasbro are doing. Why not?
I don't know why any of them don't. It doesn't make sense to me.
Like, just Marvel Legends are so popular. Just do the DC equivalent of that.
I mean, it really has to be on purpose, right? Like, they're intentionally aiming the other direction.
And I don't
But why? But why? Just to be
so
different.
They can be their own thing?
I don't know. Exactly. I don't get it.
Think about how long it took Mattel, right, to jump on to some sort of decent action figure with what they've put out with their Amber Collection stuff. I know we'll get to it with Dan's got that plan, but it makes no sense. And look, you know, people like Todd McFarlane. I don't have anything against Todd McFarlane. I think he makes crap action figures, but that is it.
Right? I got to agree, man. His Star Trek stuff really let me down.
I suffered through the days when he put out the Walking Dead stuff, and he brought out this line of color tops, and I don't know why no one just like. I can't go there because it winds me up. It is bad. It is so bad.
I have these new figures in hand, by the way, for McFarlane, and yes, they're not super articulated, and you can't get them in crazy poses. Like The Amazing probably wouldn't like them that much, but for someone like me who just has them posed up, nice, static on the shelf, looking cool as a collective, they're good for that.
Vanilla posed.
Yes, vanilla posed, the sculpt work, the paint, all of that. They look like the characters they're meant to represent. But
it's like those DC Direct figures from like 15 years ago, right? Where they barely are. They were basically
statues,
figure trading cards.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But if that's all you want, if that's the representation you want, you're fine. Like, so I think if you're like me, who you're not doing ACBA, you're not doing stop motion, you just want these characters on your shelf represented in some form. I think McFarlane are doing all right. They're doing all right, and they're going deep cuts where other toy lines would never go. Do you reckon Hasbro would probably give us the Dark Metals line straight away within the first year? No way. Do you know, like, so, and at least they're completing that team, but it's weird how we're getting the Dark Metals team before we actually get the normal Justice League team. That's what's weird to me. But anyway, so we agree that DC someone needs to grab the reins of DC and make it happen. But we have been talking about McFarlane, so we may as well just move on the subject so we can talk about McFarlane in more general terms. So we won't talk about DC because we've just mentioned DC. But are there any other McFarlane lines that you have, any that you have had in the past? What are your thoughts on McFarlane as a whole? Because I've been making figures now for like over 10 years.
Yeah. So money was no object. I'd probably get into was it Fortnite that they do? I know Jazzwares has the rights to it too, but there's like 2 different lines, right? Yeah,
Jazzwares is the main license holder, but McFarlane can make their scale, which is like the 7-inch scale.
I mean, they're fun-looking characters, but they tried to.
I've never played Fortnite, so I'm like, I just don't get it.
I'm not a fan of Fortnite either, but I do respect the character design. But like Diamond Select made Star Trek figures for a long time, and then McFarlane got the rights somehow, and they put out that Captain Picard and that Kirk that just, I don't know, man, they didn't do it for me. Like Picard was super beady-eyed looking, and it didn't even look like Patrick Stewart, and they had the lack of articulation problem, and it just wasn't for me.
Todd's a Star Trek fan as well, isn't he? I think
I think he is. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why he wanted it, but again, like you said, they didn't do him justice. What do you think of McFarlane, Brandon? Shall we move on?
I mean, look, as I said,
You were showing a Harry Potter. Got some Harry Potter
yeah,
figures?
I have all of those Walking Dead figures.
Okay.
The 5-inch ones, but I mean, it was just ridiculous. Why are you gonna give us 5? No other company does figures in that scale. Why would you give us figures in that scale? It was just weird, and then they did the color tops, and it gave everybody hope that, maybe they're gonna up the scale. And then they were like glorified statues, and you think, I mean, at the time they were pumping these figures out, The Walking Dead was, and I don't know if it still is, literally the most highly rated show on TV.
It definitely isn't now, by the way. Definitely isn't.
Okay.
They dipped.
It was in the US. It was the highest rated on all the cable networks or whatever it was. So it never made sense to me how he couldn't at least do what Diamond Select do, which is, again, they're not the most amazing action figures in the whole wide world, but it was definitely a step up from what he was doing. Then, I mean, I grew up on Harry Potter. I love Harry Potter. Love the books, love the movies. So I always wanted the Deathly Hallows versions of Harry, Ron, and Hermione, right, as well as Voldemort. Lo and behold, McFarlane puts out these figures. Now, from the front, Harry looks amazing, right? It's got the deco, it looks the part, right? The articulation isn't that bad. It doesn't pose amazingly well, but it poses. But then when you look in closer, Harry looks like he's been hit over with a pen, right? Look at the neck. If I have him here, it looks fine. If I turn to the side, the neck starts to just look weird.
I've got the SH Figure Arts Potter, so I didn't bother with that one at all.
I got those 3 as well, but that was the Philosopher's Stone versions, okay. Whereas I wanted the adult versions as well. So don't get me wrong, I bought all 3, right? I got Harry, Ron, Hermione.
You have to.
And then I got Voldemort because I wanted to support the line a bit, but it's the difference between, like I mention this to Dan all the time, Rob. I say that there are figures that stay on my desk, and then there are figures that go to the shelf. If a figure stays on my desk, it's like the best. It is fun. It's playful. It's posable, and I just think even if I'm working, like I'll just sit back. I'll grab the armor like this, and I'll just start posing her into different poses because it's a great figure.
Sure.
But with McFarlane figures, they stay on the desk maybe a week, and that's it. Then they're gone. They move to the shelf. You know? And the thing for me is that McFarlane have just got the rights to probably my most favorite franchise ever, right? Which is Avatar: The Last Airbender and Avatar: The Legend of Korra. Now, I will buy every single figure that McFarlane puts out with that franchise because of how much I love that franchise. But I know that with every single one that I get, there will be this initial disappointment because it isn't as good as it could have been. Simply because how McFarlane rolls their figures out. So that's where I generally stand on McFarlane. Last thing on McFarlane.
Stranger Things. Love Stranger Things.
So, go ahead.
I wish I'd brought the team, the actual core, the 4 lads essentially. I've got 11. Yeah. So I've got 11 on my shelf as just one of my oddball and my miscellaneous shelf, just because I love Stranger Things. It's probably one of my favorite Netflix original shows is Stranger Things. I love 11, so she's my visual representation of my love for Stranger Things on the shelf. But I do wish I went and got all 4 of the lads as well. Yeah,
100%. I've got both versions of 11 thanks to Dan. He picked up the season 1 version for me in Forbidden Planet. That one I've left mint on its card because it's the more sought after one. But this is a live unboxing of this version of 11. And the reason why I wanted to unbox this one was because I love how they did the her face.
Emo 11.
Huh?
Emo 11.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's not like a it's not a photo real, digital print, but it's a painted version of 11, but it still looks pretty good.
You a fan of Stranger Things, Rob?
Absolutely.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. I mean, that show just hit at the right time, and it hit all the right nostalgia buttons, and it was a good show on top of that.
100%,
so, yeah.
100%. I was trying to explain to people how like it's sort of like so much 80s nostalgia is dripped into that show. Just
the intro theme, man, reminds me of like watching movies late at night when I was a little kid.
Oh, I downloaded that. I rarely do this, but I actually downloaded the Stranger Things like soundtrack just because.
Oh yeah,
I don't know. I just love the synths and all of that nonsense. So yeah, I agree. It's great.
Because I got this. I got the Demogorgon as well.
I need that. Should have got the Demogorgon. Should have got it. I regret not getting some of these McFarlane Stranger Things stuff. And again, it's not about them being McFarlane. It's about me wanting that Stranger Things on my shelf. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
So
yeah. That Ghostbusters set of the four boys is pretty easy to get.
Yeah, if I was going to get them though, I'd rather have the actual just normal casual lads.
Dustin is actually the most expensive one, you know.
I know.
Really?
Yeah, at least here he is.
Yeah, they're really hard to find here. But I got talking about McFarlane still. I managed to get the Game of Thrones set. Do you know the 4 they released? So I still have them upstairs, just in box. But they were quite easy to find in the UK. I think I found them at like a B&M, which is like a bargain store here. It's like a Best Buy over there for you guys, I guess. Which was
points.
Yeah, the articulation choices are weird, ain't they? But I haven't opened those those.
She looks good though. She looks 10 times better than Harry looks.
So 11 has three. She has 3 figures, doesn't she? She has season 1, 2, and 3. She has a figure in all 3. Yeah.
And I would have loved to have got the season 3 one as well, but the paint on the eyes just looks like weird. It looks like an action figure.
2 of the characters. We only got 11 and Hopper in season 3, didn't we? Did we get anything else?
No.
Yeah, they just that's a shame. That's a shame.
You know what?
They still could have gave us more characters.
And not just that, but I would have loved to have seen the Demodogs.
Oh yeah, that'd been good.
I don't know if that's the actual name for them. I just made that up, but
I think they are just called Demodogs, by the way. I think that's what they're referred to.
But I would have army built those for sure.
Yeah, Jamie in the chat says he got his figures for $6.99 in B&M. Yeah, sometimes McFarlane figures do that. You know, they go really cheap and just land in McFarlane.
For these ones?
No, the Game of Thrones.
Oh, the Game of Thrones one. Sorry.
Game of Thrones. Right, so while you've got that in your hand, Brandon, I'm going to move on to the next one as we sort of run through these now, because I don't think you're going to talk about this one much, but I think Rob might. So, are you a WWE fan, Rob? Wrestling fan, shall we say? Because
I am a casual wrestling fan.
Okay, because talking about action figures, I think one of Mattel's strongest lines is WWE, and it's without a doubt they're making some great action figures. And again, if it wasn't for the popularity of wrestling and wrestling toys in general, boys action figures probably wouldn't be where they are today either, because with the LGNs and the Hasbros and all that stuff back in the past, they paved the way to a certain extent. And
I have a very particular interest when it comes to wrestling figures. You're going to think this is crazy. What got me into wrestling, I was a fan of Hulkster and Ultimate Warrior in the early 90s, but what really got me into wrestling was the NWO era.
Yeah.
So I have a collection of Scott Halls and Kevin Nash's.
That is not weird.
That
is not weird at all. I love that.
But my favorite part about it is I have these old Toy Biz ones from back when they did the Smash and Slam wrestlers back in the day. And like they look, I mean, Nash actually was pretty good.
Razor Ramon, Scott Hall, Razor Ramon, and Big Daddy Diesel. Yeah, love them. Have you seen the new Ultimates Hogan, by the way?
Oh, he looks amazing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You need to get him to stand with Scott Hall and Razor Ramon. Yeah, so
I agree. Yeah, he's on my radar.
That's not weird, by the way. That's what I mean. That's what's so good about collecting is everyone has their own little rules. So it's weird. So I know I don't really do a lot of wrestling reviews on my channel. Every now and then I'll drop one in if I need some content. But I do love wrestling and I do have quite a lot of figures. My rules with wrestling though is I sort of create my own roster. Say I'm the general manager of Raw. Who would I draft to my shelf? Do you know what I mean? So I only buy the wrestlers that I'm a fan of, per se, whether they're old or new. So obviously I started watching wrestling and like my first ever WWE pay-per-view was Royal Rumble 2000. So you're talking Dudley Boys and Hardy's table match and The Rock winning the Royal Rumble. Do you know, like, Cactus Jack and Triple H in a street fight, and Kurt Angle and that type of era. That was what I grew up on. So I missed the Ultimate Warrior and Macho Man and all stuff like that. I wasn't I'm not a Shawn Michaels fan. I hate his gimmick. I hate his cockeye. I hate his hair. I hate his theme song. I just don't like Shawn Michaels. He's a great wrestler, but I don't have to like him. I don't find him entertaining. Like DX for me would always be Road Dogg, X-Pac, Triple H, and what's his name? I'm an ass man. Billy Gunn.
Oh, Billy Gunn. Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
Yes.
In China,
of course.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Nathan, for the
Nathan
super chat.
Tolan donated £5
Friday,
through
we'll read
super
it out.
chat. The new Finn Balor Elite looks like a mean Dan. Am I wrong?
Do you know what? I'm not even going to lie to you. So Nathan, thank you very much for the super chat. He says the new Finn Balor Elite looks like a mean Dan. Am I wrong? So when I wanted to make a Dan custom figure, I brought a Finn Balor just because he has the short hair and the beard. So I look nothing like Finn Balor, but we have the same hair and beard, I think. So yeah, I actually used the Finn Balor head to make a custom Dan ages ago. So yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong, Nathan. I'll take that though. I'll take that. But I just wanted to show off some of these because I recently got these. So at the minute, I'm only buying, as I said, the ultimates of wrestlers I like, and then I pick and choose. So I don't have a massive collection, but obviously Undertaker is a great figure. Probably you can't tell, but honestly, it's a great figure. And I've got Pete Dunne as well as one of my favourite British wrestlers. Longest reigning UK champ as well, which is a great figure. Hard to get figure as well, by the way. This goes for a pretty penny on eBay. But I've recently got, even Brandon will know this guy. He was Roadblock in one of those movies you watched, Brandon. He was Roadblock.
I've got the SHF.
Oh, there you go then. Yes. Everyone loves The Rock. Everyone loves The Rock. So this has just come out. This is an Amazon exclusive in the US. But I got mine from Wrestle HQ in the UK. And yeah, this is The Rock Ultimate. Happy days. So now I never need another Rock figure. I've got The Rock Ultimate Edition, interchangeable heads, all the accessories. Happy days. And then the best female wrestler there is today, in my opinion, Charlotte Flair, Ric Flair's daughter. And by the way, people, like we know Hasbro are doing a great job with their Star Wars digital facing and the MCU figures, but Mattel are killing it. This looks like a little mini Charlotte. This looks like a tiny little Charlotte in figure form, and cloth goods as well for a cape. So good. So like, I know not everyone on this channel is maybe a wrestling fan, but I buy a lot of wrestling figures, and I would do more on the channel, but I don't want to alienate the people that are here, if you know what I mean, because I've been doing Marvel Legends for so long. I don't want to suddenly start doing loads of wrestling reviews, and then people are like, what's going on? So I don't know. Maybe I'll do
start reviewing a bunch of Batistas. There'll be some crossover.
Yeah. I just start off. The thumbnail for all my wrestling reviews will just be Batista as Drax. But yeah. So but yeah, let me know in the chat. Honestly, I'm always curious. If you want to see more wrestling reviews on the channel, let me know, because I buy the toys, I buy the figures, I have my collection, but I don't do them on the channel. And I've neglected Brandon for this conversation because I assume Brandon knows absolutely nothing about wrestling, but I'm assuming he could be a big fan.
I got one of those cage play sets when I was a kid, so that I could put my X2 Wolverine in it.
Oh, very nice. Yeah.
Other than that, just that and The Rock, Dwayne Johnson. As I say, I've got the SH Figure Arts version of him. He's posed in my on my import shelf with the microphone like this.
Nice.
Very nice.
Yeah, you know it's I was just gonna say what's more fun for me now with wrestling is to follow like the behind the scenes stuff, like Cody going and starting his own organization, and like who's going where, like the whole like politics of wrestling.
I nearly pulled up an AEW picture rather than a WWE picture because I love AEW. I don't have any of the figures currently because they're really hard to find in the UK and they're having loads of distribution issues and blah. But one of my favorite podcasts is the Major Wrestling Figure podcast with Matt Cardona, aka the former Zack Ryder, and Brian Myers, aka the former Kurt Hawkins. That's one of my favorite podcasts to listen to on every Friday with Smart Mark Sterling and stuff like that. And they're starting their own Twitch. So like they've even started to get into Marvel Legends, which I love because I've been listening to that podcast talking about wrestling toys, and now they're finally getting into Marvel Legends. I'm like, yes, perfect. But yeah, I dabble, but AEW is currently so much better than WWE. The storylines, the characters, the wrestling, every element is better than WWE. Not that it has to be either or. You can watch both and enjoy both. But if you are not watching AEW at the minute, honestly, like John Moxley, aka the former Dean Ambrose, is their current champion. Chris Jericho is the best he's ever been. Cody Rhodes, obviously, he's one of the main guys there. So yeah, I don't want to bore everyone. I'll move on, but yeah, watch AEW, and I will be buying AEW figures when they finally come out in the UK. But right, this next one, I'll shut up and let Brandon talk about it, because this next one I have no idea about. Brandon's smiling because the most promotion that this franchise has got for me is every week on Unparalleled Universe's live stream. Anything he doesn't like, he calls Goku. It's become a new language within the toy community. If you don't like something, you call it Goku. Oh, there you go. You got Sting. I like it. Let me switch back to a slot. There you go. You can show off your Sting again. People missed it.
Here. This is the Smash and Slam Wrestling toy biz.
There's rumors.
Figure.
There's rumors Sting's going to AEW. You know, for one last little match.
Is that right?
Maybe.
Maybe. I'm not happy with the way his WWE career
Exactly. Redemption. But anyway, Brandon, educate me. And I've not spoke to Rob about this either, so I have no idea what Rob's thoughts are on Dragon Ball Z. But the chat know. They're already saying it's Goku in the comments. Brandon, redeem us. Redeem it.
Do we know why Unparalleled doesn't like Dragon Ball Z?
Yeah, he doesn't, because he's never seen Dragon Ball Z. He thinks and there are other. He jokes. He's joking. He's just playing on the joke.
No, I know.
But he thinks that all anime looks the same, and he thinks all the characters look the same. So he calls them all Goku. He doesn't know who they are, so he just calls them all Goku. So if he doesn't like it, it's Goku.
I absolutely love Dragon Ball Z. I grew up with it. I collected the old Owen and Jax toys at the time, which had no articulation. Almost, they just had like arms that could move upwards and back, and then legs that could move upwards and back, and neck that could do like a 360. But for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12-year-old Brandon, it was like the best thing in the whole wide world, because I just had all these different figures, all looking, in the different outfits and the different, because they all have different transformations and all that kind of stuff.
Where they basically just change the color of their hair, right?
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, thought so.
Depending on what level that they get to. But then, jump to 2011, 12, 13. When I got into Marvel Legends, I then was like, I started to look into all the other franchises that I loved to see if there were any, modern action figure lines that represented those figures. And that was when I first was introduced to SH Figure Arts. And I have not gotten out of SH Figure Arts since. I absolutely adore the Dragon Ball Z SH Figure Arts line. They are super posable. They have all the accessories you could ever want per, transformation per figure. You get different face plates, you get different hands. It is just, and for the price point that they come at, it is so worth it. They'll vary from, say, anywhere from, I would say, £30 to £70, depending on the size of the character, the uniqueness of its build, that kind of thing. Tamashii Nations have such an amazing consistency with the line. You will definitely get one release every month, which is good because if you're only into collecting Dragon Ball Z and you're only collecting SH Figure Arts, then you know what your budget is, you know how to plan for it. There are different eras of Dragon Ball. So you got Dragon Ball, which is like the first era, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super, which is like your middle and your end, for lack of a better word. And so they cherry pick and they go from different like stories within those eras, if you like. So again, if you want to get from certain eras, you can. If you don't, you don't have to. But they have such an amazing quality. I've never, touch wood, had a QC issue with SH Figure Arts Dragon Ball figures ever. The quality is always top notch. That character himself was Goku, and as I say, they're just so posable.
You cannot be an action figure collector or be a part of this community without at least being aware of Dragon Ball Z. Like, I only know of Dragon Ball Z through the toys. Never seen a show. No, I can't judge it because I've never seen it. But I know about it because of the toys, because they've been so predominant within the import market and stuff like that. And like, I joke that they just changed their hairstyle, but you have to admit, they all look very similar. Very similar.
Yeah, I mean, for me, especially growing up, like I always looked up to a lot of the characters. A lot of them were like my heroes. You know, like there's some of my most beloved characters in all of fiction.
That's what I mean. I don't know the characters. That's what I miss about it. And parallels are going to be exactly the same as me. Like, we just don't know who these people are, so that's why we have no attachment to it.
And there is such story behind it. There is such characterization. I mean, Goku, in and of himself, sometimes to his detriment, sometimes to others' detriment. One of his sole focuses is just to get better, right? He just continues to push and push and push himself, even beyond his limits, and especially beyond his limits when it matters most, to really just further himself. And sometimes that's because he just wants to have fun and see how far he can go. And other times that's because he has to save the entire planet, galaxy, universe, whatever.
You're making it sound deep, Brandon. You're making it sound very deep.
All I'm saying is that like there's a wealth of history to those characters.
No, I love it. I love the passion. You can tell. I can tell that you love it, which is good.
Behind it, and they're literally, if you were going to say, you know, you have 2 action figure lines that you can pick, and you won't collect anything else for the rest of ever, I would pick SH Figure Arts Dragon Ball and Marvel.
Wow, that's a hot take right there. So
because they have everything that makes a great toy line great.
Wow, well, fair play. I like the passion behind that. You should. I'm going to clip this out and send it to Unparalleled and see if it changes his opinions.
There you go.
But I've just got normal brown hair, so I'm nothing. But I'm going to hand it over to Super Saiyan Rob over there with the blonde hair. So you must know more than me about Dragon Ball. You a fan?
I watched the entire Frieza saga. Like I don't know, probably 20 years ago now.
See, I didn't even know there was sagas. There you go. I'll shut up.
I enjoyed it for what it was. But Dragon Ball is just not for me, unfortunately. But I will say those figures, the engineering on them is so impressive. Like the way that they work with the folds of fabrics to like make knee joints or arm joints, if that's what they are. I'm really impressed with how they put those things together. But I don't need to ever own one.
Yeah, like, as I said, you can't be within this toy community without knowing of Dragon Ball. And even me have been tempted to even get just to, do you know what it's like? You want to play with it yourself. You want to have a go and see what it is all about. So I've been tempted just to get one to see what all the fuss is about. But I've never seen the show. Maybe one day I'll give it a chance. But again, it was just one of those that I've missed, never seen, and never been drawn towards. But you can't ignore the action figures. But there's no doubt they look great. No doubt about it, they look great. But moving on to the next one. This one was a special request for Rob, because this is one that in the UK, Rob, I don't think these are available. Like Brandon will correct me if I'm wrong.
No kidding.
But I've never seen these. Never seen these on shelves in the UK. I could be completely wrong, but that's just my experience. I know exactly what these are because of Bug Nice's intro. This
Mini-Mates.
Mini-Mates, yes, exactly. Let me pull up the picture.
This one's for them real collectors.
Yeah. There you go. So Mini-Mates. So obviously Mini-Mates, you're going to have to educate us, Rob, because I can't speak on these. I know what they are, but you've been on them you said earlier you've had these since the get-go, right?
Pretty much, yeah. So here's the thing about Mini-Mates. Are you a fan of Alien?
Yes.
There's a Mini-Mate for that.
Wow.
Are you a fan of Street Fighter? There's a Mini-Mate for that.
Oh.
Are you a fan of Star Trek? There's a Mini-Mate for that.
Oh, wow, okay.
How about Mass Effect? There's a Mini-Mate for that. How
Okay.
about Ninja Turtles? There's a Mini-Mate for that.
See
And
where
there's
this is
Marvel
going.
and DC. So it's just like Mini-Mates, before Pop Finals just exploded in popularity, Mini-Mates was like, for me, the line to go to get your favorite property represented in like a really cool collectible form factor.
That was what I was about to ask you before you continue. Can they do that? Because like Pops, the likeness is so obscure that they don't have to get like certain actor likeness rights and stuff. They just have to get like the brand sort of licensing. I don't know.
I think Diamond Select, originally Art Asylum, but then Diamond Select was really smart about finding brands that people were nostalgic for before the nostalgia for them blew up.
Okay,
and locking in likeness rights,
yeah.
And then making Mini-Mates of them, because like they did Terminator, but they're not doing it now. They did, Alien, but they're not doing it now. So they're really good about just cherry picking those different franchises and putting out these little figures. I mean, they started bigger. This is one of the original Mini-Mates. Back when this was out, they did like Rob Zombie Mini-Mates and a few other lines. And these were about 3.5 inches tall. And then around 2003, they shifted them to, they say 2 inches. It's more like 2.5 inches.
They look like bigger Lego men, if that makes sense.
They do. And the best thing about them, a lot of people look at them and think, oh, those are just Legos. They're actually bigger than Legos. So unfortunately, if you get like Lego sets that are scaled for Lego figures, they're too big.
Yeah.
But they've got articulation in the shoulders and in the elbows. It's probably not coming through very well. They rotate in the wrist, the heads rotate, the waist rotate. They have articulated knees. They're just a lot of fun for me. And I'm going to try to do something here. Once you get a bunch of them,
okay,
you can actually like, here is just a bunch army. Of X-Men. Yeah. And that's not even half my collection. These things are great. They usually get 2 in a 2-pack for about $7-8 American. So it's really easy to collect them. If you're ever wondering about a Marvel Legends character, like they didn't make a costume of that. Guarantee you Mini-Mates did. Like that brief period of time when Wolverine's wearing the orange and black outfit that didn't have stripes on it before he died during the Wolverine. One of the few versions of that costume in action figure form is Mini-Mates. So they're just really good about like getting all of those unique looks for different characters and covering a bunch of different franchises.
There is no denying they look fun. They just look like fun. And like you said, they're cheap as well.
Yeah. And that articulation at that scale is just amazing.
It's awesome, guys. I mean, it really is. And they come with tons of accessories, interchangeable hands, heads. I mean, there is a Mini-Mate out there that is a chameleon Mini-Mate, but if you pull off his robe, like put on a mask and like switch out all these pieces, he's a Mary Jane Mini-Mate. You know what I mean? Like they do really cool things like that when you get them too.
So, Brandon, what's your experience with these? Have you, like, I've never seen them in the UK. Have you ever seen them? They're not even on our online stores.
I think I've seen them at Forbidden Planet.
Okay.
That's the only place. Usually, if I see them in the States, it's in Walgreens, right? Rob?
Walgreens has them in the United States. They're actually, because Toys R Us is gone now, probably the biggest place keeping them alive right now.
Yeah.
Well, Articulated Herring, you're in the chat. You can let us know. Like, you're a UK collector. Like, have you ever seen Mini-Mates? Like, I genuinely don't know. They're not on the online stores. If I went to the place, the usual places that we buy our Marvel Legends and collectibles, Rob, like, they don't have Mini-Mates. They just don't offer them. And obviously, we don't really have any stores that sell stuff like apart from Forbidden Planet, but they're few and far between. So, yeah, like, if it's one of them where if I seen them, I probably would have brought some, do you know? But I've never had the opportunity to even buy any, do you know? Like, but I know exactly what they are through the collecting community.
Well, like the first place I ever purchased them was Suncoast Video in a mall. You know what I mean?
Wow.
So like they've always been in specialty stores the entire time they've been around. There was a brief period where they put them in Target stores. This was like 2008, and I don't think they sold well because they didn't stay there very long. But usually it's been specialty stores that keep the brand alive.
Oh well, Phil Jones is back in the building. Welcome back, Phil. Phil says B&M Bargains had a few. Interesting. I never spotted them. Did you ever see them at B&M, Brandon?
No.
Articulated Herring says they're in comic shops, but usually you have to order them in. Sometime they show up in B&M and Home Bargains on the cheap. Interesting. Never seen them. Tom Shower says, I think SHF, which is Star Action Figures, had them in for a bit, but only maybe 1 or 2 sets. Very interesting. So as you can see, Rob, they are definitely a bit more elusive in the UK. But I definitely
even
see
in the United States.
Go ahead.
I
was just going to say the collectability of them does look really fun. Like that little display you have, it's so clear who each character is, even at that scale. Do you know?
Yeah, absolutely. I think they've had a brand awareness problem in general, though. Diamond Select's not a very big company. Even having been around for almost 20 years now, I could still walk up to most people and they would have never heard of the toy line. So,
well, as I said,
you kind of have to know about it.
Bug Nice's intro is doing the biggest promotion for Mini-Mates that they have. Move. Any more, Brandon?
A question on that quickly. Do you guys have any other Diamond Select stuff?
Yes.
Yes, please take this opportunity to talk about Diamond Select, because I don't think it's one of those photos I've got lined up. So
my biggest Diamond Select.
I collect the Marvel stuff, of course. Yours are awesome. I need to get in on some of those. Also, Diamond Select.
This is one of my favorite action figures of all time.
Are they new? Are they newish, Brandon, or they've been out for a while?
Yeah, they came out a year ago.
Okay, so they're relatively new, yeah.
There's some more that are coming just before Christmas, and then some more that will be out next year. So that's why it's going to be interesting to see what McFarlane do versus what Diamond Select continue to do.
But after Playmates lost the Star Trek license, It actually went to, at the time, Art Asylum and then turned into Diamond Select. So there's a whole series of 7-inch Star Trek figures that are pretty decently articulated. This guy's actually got like a rubber shirt. I don't know if you can tell that. It's not fabric, but it hides his torso joint. And they did the original series Star Trek. They did Next Generation. They did Space Nine. So that's another thing that Diamond Select has done. They did Universal Monsters and the Munsters as a figure line. So big fan of Diamond Select.
Do you guys recognize who this is?
Is that you in figure form?
No.
No idea.
What are you talking about?
It's just a guy with a little quiff. You've got a bit of a quiff.
I'm not picking up on it.
Okay, wait. Give me...
Well, I just need to real quick shout out the Wicks. Basically, the lads that I play Warzone with are disappointed that I'm not playing Warzone with them right now. So they've jumped in the chat to say shout out the Wicks. So we're the Warzone Wicks, all right? Don't mess with us. Take you
that's Spike. So is that other one Xander? Or is he Angel?
Oh,
So
Buffy the Vampire Slayer type thing.
So these are the deluxe Diamond Select action figures from Buffy and Angel. I have Buffy down here, but she's like too far to reach.
Didn't they do some really nice play sets as well? Have I seen?
Yeah, I got the library play set.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, I got that library play set is like my crown jewel. I love it. But I love that Buffy and Angel. I love it. So these guys are like just. They still hold up. They're not amazing, but they still hold up.
Yeah. Even the older Marvel Select figures that only have like 6 or 7 points of articulation still look amazing, even if they don't get all the poses you want.
Yeah. I was big into Marvel Select back in the day, but then I think I got to a point where I was like, well, I can't really. Although I still have the Groot Marvel Select. I still have.
That's a good one.
Yeah,
like this Disney Store one from like a couple years ago. Yeah, that's a really good one.
I still got the Destroyer. You know, the Destroyer one. I've forgotten as the Destroyer. Oh, I've still got the Watcher Select is up here.
Oh,
what?
Yeah,
wow, that's a very
hard one to come by now.
Very sought after figure, that one. If you want to make a quick £100, Brandon, you know how to do it with that Watcher figure. But like you, Rob, I've got a couple of the Marvel ones. I usually will buy the bigger characters that I think would scale with my Legends. So like the actual figure, the main Thanos on my display, you can't really see, but I've got the whole Black Order, Dark Order up there, sorry. Or Black Order?
Yeah.
I'm right. Black Order.
Black Order,
I've got them all up here, and the Thanos on display with them is actually the Select Thanos. So usually you can get away with having those bigger characters. And on my Spider-Man shelf, you probably can't see it on the video, but the Spider-Man the Sandman that's in my Rose Gallery for Spider-Man is the Diamond Select Sandman rather than the Build-A-Figure Sandman. So, because his accessories were just nicer and it just looked better. He had that little like that swirl of sand that you could pop off his torso and put him sitting in it. So I have got a couple, but because the scale, when I first got back into collecting, I went down a massive rabbit hole of researching Marvel Legends and Marvel Select, because I was like, what do I want to invest in? You know, what do I think's worth building a collection of? And obviously Marvel Legends, I think, was the right choice. But they do have, Diamond Select do have some good figures. And like recently, they're now doing Star Wars as well, randomly out of nowhere. I've seen people do, crazy, out of nowhere. Right, let's move on to another one, which is, I think, should be nostalgic for all of us. Maybe, we shall see. Let me pull up a picture. Okay, so we all know the theme song for this, right?
Oh, yes!
Pokemon, gotta catch 'em. This is one of my favourite cartoon theme songs, full stop. I know the words, I've loved the movie. Super nostalgic. Even as a 30-year-old man, I still walk around the park near my house playing Pokemon Go to kill time. There you go. There's Red. See, Brandon, me and Rob are old enough to actually remember Game Boys in their original form. Game Boy.
Hey, I'm with you. I had a Game Boy. I had a Game Boy Color. I had a Game Boy SP. I had a Game Boy Advance. I had the lot.
Wow. You were on it young then. You were on it young.
I was there with you. Me and my boy Red, we go way back.
So what were you, Pokemon Red or Blue? Or Yellow?
Oh, I was Red. Oh, and then I did get Yellow, but I was Red.
Yellow was just the same bloody game. It's just that you could get Pikachu as a starter Pokemon. Basically, me and my brother, I got Pokemon Blue, and my brother got Red, and we had one of those. Remember those cables, those transfer cables you could get for Game Boy? So
Yeah,
we'd
loose cables, right?
yeah, so we'd restart the game. So I'd start off and get like I'd pick my Squirtle was always my first choice starter Pokemon, by the way. That's a question we can ask the chat in a minute. Anyway, but then on my second Game Boy that was my brother's, I'd start a new game and pick Charmander as the starter, and then trade it for a Pidgey real quick, and then restart the game and get Bulbasaur, and then trade it real quick, and then I'd start the game on my actual account with all three starter Pokemon. It was the trick of the trade back in the day. But yeah, loving Pokemon. And I've actually got, before I ask you two about it, I just want to quickly say, Brandon, I've actually got my only mail call this week is Pokemon related.
Really? What did you get?
Yeah, right. So my modest Pokemon collection is the SH Figure Arts Ash Ketchum. Which
I got him in the other room, but I knew you'd show him, so that's why I brought Red.
Super nostalgic. Love that. Pikachu. And then I also recently they re-released the D-Arts Bulbasaur, which is basically SH Figure Arts Bulbasaur.
Blastoise.
Yeah, Blastoise. And I've actually got, I said Bulbasaur because I'm staring right at Bulbasaur. And then I have the 3 starter Pokemon just in their little figure forms. I don't know what you call them, but like they scale with Ash, whatever.
Yeah.
So if I've got Blastoise, and I've got the middle Pokemon as well. Do you know the Wartortle, the Ivysaur, all of that? I've got them upstairs. But if I've got Bulbasaur, who else do I need, Brandon?
Did you get Venusaur? Please tell me you got that epic Venusaur. Yeah, that is one of the best Pokemon figures in a long time.
So I've got Venusaur and I've got Charizard. So obviously, I would have probably rather have got the D-Arts Charizard, but that guy goes for a pretty penny currently. So,
yeah. The thing is that there isn't. It's very hard to get like a definitive Charizard.
What's
really
great?
Hard to get a definitive scale Charizard.
These are going to scale. Maybe Charizard's going to be a little bit too small, but these would essentially scale with my Bulbasaur, with my Blastoise.
Yeah, that Venusaur is perfectly scaled. It is beautiful.
So yeah, that's what I've not opened them yet. But yeah, my very small Pokemon collection. And again, this is one of those weird rules where I'm not buying everything that they release for Pokemon. Just those couple that are nostalgic to me, so I can have a little section on my shelf represents Pokemon, and then I move on with my life.
Sure.
So what about you, Rob? Are you a Pokemon fan?
I mean, yes. Unfortunately, I own none of the toys, but I've got every generation. I've got at least 2 versions of each game in each generation. I'm still playing Pokemon Go right now.
Yeah, of course.
I was playing Sword until my son just lost the cartridge, and now I don't know what I'm doing. So, because now Go is connecting to Pokemon Home finally. So I was looking forward to getting a bunch of stuff moved into Pokemon Sword and Shield, but I have to wait. But no, I really like the games. I'm not as up on the show. I'm a little more so now that my son's been watching the modern stuff. But I mean, I watched back when the show aired on Kids WB in the United States. I watched it, and then they moved it to Cartoon Network or something, and I couldn't watch it anymore. So I missed most of the show, but the games, I was always there for the games.
Which was your favorite generation of the game?
Probably Diamond and Pearl, but I'm always gonna have a soft spot for the original Red and Blue era.
Red and Blue. Yeah. I never played past Red and Blue, by the way. Like I'm super stuck in my bubble of early days Pokemon. Generation 1. I do know Generation 2 Pokemon a little bit as well, but it's all about Generation 1 for me. What's Brandon got up there?
I know he's gonna show a Dialga or something.
I've got that up in the loft. Which was your favorite star Pokemon from Diamond and Pearl?
Piplup.
Piplup? Okay, wait. I'll be back in a second.
Okay.
Okay, he's going to show us something, isn't he? What about Pokemon cards, Rob? I had all the Pokemon cards as a kid, as I'm sure you did now. But at the minute, they're going through some crazy phase where these have actually become highly sought after collectibles, going for hundreds of thousands of pounds. Like, that's not even a joke. Like, Charizards right now, if you can get a mint Charizard PSA 10, you're looking at over like £150,000. Crazy.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I wasn't like reckless with my cards as a kid, but I also didn't like keep them super locked down in cases and stuff. So I've got cards from that era that have been in sleeves for probably 25 years now. Maybe they're 8s or 7s. I have a couple of first edition when gold and silver cards first started coming out. I have ones that actually had the first edition printed on them, but I didn't stick with cards very long. I didn't get back into them until about 2 or 3 years ago.
You might need to go back and re-look at some of them because you might be sitting on a little gold mine there, Rob. Honestly, the Pokemon cards at the minute are a proper craze. Like, I always wanted to just go back and get the original, as I said, like the same I've got in figure form, essentially in card form. So I wanted to get a Blastoise a shiny Blastoise. Unless I want to pay £100 or more, I'm not getting a Blastoise figure at these, like a Blastoise card at the minute. And I don't want to be paying £100 for a bloody Pokemon card. I just wanted it as a little nostalgia hit. Do you know what I mean?
Of course, absolutely.
Don't mind throwing a little fiver on it, but not £100. So, but yeah, I've been asking all my mates because obviously I had all these as a kid, and I was like, "Mom, have you got them?" She binned them long ago, and I was like, "Mom, you just threw away hundreds of thousands of pounds." But whatever. But I've been asking all my mates, if you got any Pokemon cards, let me sell them, let me get them. So I'm trying to find some. So if anyone has any cards, I'm looking for Blastoise. I just want Blastoise in shiny form.
I don't think I have Blastoise, unfortunately.
Just that's what I want. That's the one I've got on me. I've got him on my sold listing.
So look, just for an idea of scale, Rob, who's this?
Turn him sideways.
Captain America.
I can't think of his name. I know who that is. It's not. Yeah,
Steve Rogers.
No, if you gave me multiple choice, I could tell you his name, but I don't know.
Staraptor.
What's that? Staraptor? That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, just as an idea for scale. So
that is huge.
I collect Pokemon figures in a 6-inch scale, right? Like growing up, I used to get the little tiny ones, but then I got to a point where I was like, no, I'm going to collect them so that like they scale with Ash or they scale with Red or whatever. So there's Staraptor.
Oh, Torterra. There we go. That one I know.
Yeah. And then,
that one had a nice bit in the Detective Pikachu movie. Oh, hey, there we go. Infernape. Yeah, that's an awesome one.
Right. And
this is the first time I've seen any of these Pokemon ever.
Yeah, these are a little bit past Dan's time.
Wait, so who makes these?
I'll explain in a second. And
okay. There we go. Emporium or Empoleon.
Yeah.
That's an awesome one. I like that.
So the thing about Pokemon, right? And I explained this I think I mentioned this to Dan earlier today when we were just talking about it. Is that the hardest line I collect, or the hardest franchise I collect, is Pokemon, because there are so many different companies that have had their hand at Pokemon figures over the years, and that it is so hard to get like a consistent line from different like brands.
Sure.
So for example, this is a Chinese vinyl figure, right, for Torterra.
Yeah.
Empoleon was made by Jax, I think. Yeah. So Empoleon and Infernape were both made by Jax. I think there was a Jax Torterra as well, but super hard to find. And then there are other ones. So Dan, I'm going to help you out a minute.
Okay.
Such as this guy.
Magmar,
Yes,
Magmar.
I didn't know they had that in figure form. That looks cool.
So this was made by Jax. Then, well, yeah, you'll both know this for sure.
Oh yeah, Gyarados.
Yeah, I'm thinking about getting that one as well. Is that the Epic Battle one?
Yeah, so I would get it. So the people that currently have the toy license are Wicked Cool Toys.
Jazzwares, essentially, yeah.
Yeah, Jazzwares now, yeah. So they're putting out some really good stuff here and there. So, for example, this Gyarados, that Venusaur, they have a Dragonite, which is pretty good.
Yeah, both of these are, it says on the box, Jazzwares, Wicked Cool Toys, yeah.
Yeah. And then another one for Rob.
Oh yeah, that's Electivire.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I got Electivire hoping that they would bring out a Gary Oak at some point, because Gary gets...
That is something I want to say, by the way. So I have this SH Figure Arts Ash, right? So obviously they did Team Rocket as well. Who were we missing, Rob? Who were we missing?
Brock and Misty.
Exactly. We need Misty and Brock.
Gary.
And Gary,
yeah.
And I'd even take, what is it, a Nurse... Is it a Nurse Joy?
Nurse Joy.
Do you know, like, just those little...
Officer Ginny.
Yes. I'd take them all in. This scale, SH Figure Arts, make it happen. Next year, I believe, is the 25th anniversary of Pokemon. So I'm hoping SH Figure Arts do something special for it, because they usually do like doing anniversary figures. So fingers crossed.
Yeah. So guys, in these figure lines, do they ever do like shiny color Pokemon?
Oh, shiny. That'd be pretty good, yeah.
So then Bandai, right, did some I got Sceptile and Mud and Swampert from Bandai. Hasbro had a play in their hand with it.
Oh, there we go.
Salamence.
Baggins element. Yeah. Evolution.
But I don't. Oh yes, Hasbro did do a shiny version of Scyther.
Oh, okay. With the red legs.
And that is like I had Scyther and I sold it, and it is like he goes for loads of money. The Scyther figure. I'm just trying. I might as well show you like the whole thing while we're here.
Sunny in the chat saying, "Have you got Electabuzz?"
No, that's one of the only ones that has eluded me.
Okay.
But I've been searching for it. But he's hard to find. There is an Electabuzz, but he's hard to find.
This is what I love about collecting, by the way, is that it sounds like this is the whole Pokemon collecting in toy form is like a whole
exactly.
hunt. It's like a hunt in itself.
So look, so you got Gengar. That's part of the recent Wicked Cool Toys. You got Tauros and Dragonite, part of the recent Wicked Cool Toys. So over here, so you got for Typhlosion and for Alligator.
Oh, they did that in figure form. That's massive.
Yeah, but those are both Hasbro. Those are I got those for good prices, but they go for stupid money.
Didn't even know they existed.
No, and that's the thing. The thing about the Pokemon figures is it's so hard to find. Like one of my friends the other day, who collects Pokemon, he sends me this picture of Grovyle, right? A Bandai Grovyle, Rob, and I was like, I didn't even know that existed. I Googled it, right? I put in all the like specs that would describe that particular figure. Google Images can even come up with a picture of it.
Huh.
Some figures
pretty rare then, yeah.
So rare. And then this Heracross is Hasbro.
Okay.
That Slowking in the back, I think, is another vinyl figure. And then over here, you've got. So that Blastoise in the back is probably the best scale Blastoise. That is Jax as well.
Okay. I like that your Chansey has a nurse hat.
You need to do a video of all these, by the way, Brandon. I had no idea you had so many.
Yeah.
That Turtle you've got there. Who's that by?
That one is. It might be Tomy actually.
So is that the one in the free pack with all three of them? Because that's the one I've got upstairs.
That's the Wicked Cool Toys one.
Oh, is that the new one that came single packed, or did it come in a pack with three?
Yeah.
Yes.
Comes in a pack with three of them.
Okay.
And then Jolteon is there.
Yeah.
All that Dan has. You should see Machamp in the background there somewhere.
Yeah, I see him.
Snorlax as well. I like Snorlax.
And I see the Sharpedo. I think that's one of the best Pokemon designs.
Yeah, I love Sharpedo. And he comes with a stand as well that gets him stand up like that. That Golem, I need to touch up the paint on the front, but that's Jack's figure. I love Golem. That Snorlax is actually a money bank.
Oh, is it? Nice.
Yeah, but it is like perfectly well scaled.
Well, Snorlax does not need articulation. You just need to be standing or lying.
Yeah, he basically just moves his head. There is another one. There is another Snorlax where I think he's like either laying down or sitting down or both. I can't remember. Just the last few here.
Oh yeah, Metagross.
Yeah.
Here's my strongest Pokemon Go, by the way. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah.
Swampert. That's one of the best starters ever, I think.
Yeah. That was who I started. That's the funny thing. So the only I have the first three regions. I have 4 regions. Sorry. So I have Kanto, Johto, Hoenn, and Sinnoh. Because after Sinnoh, like I didn't love a lot of the Pokemon as much, like the designs or the stories. Sure. And everything. Whereas these 4 regions are like my core. So I only have like a select few figures that go beyond that after that. Like I always forget his name for some reason. Who's this guy again?
Grey Ninja.
Great, yeah. So I got this one.
Blaziken, yeah.
Yes, yeah, and this is Bandai as well, I think. Oh no, this is vinyl.
You've got way more than I thought you had, Brandon. Like I knew you dabbled in Pokemon, but there's loads there.
And these are just regular Pokemon. I have a whole box upstairs of large scale legendary Pokemon.
Wow.
Oh yeah, that's Electrike. Yeah.
I think it's the is that.
Am I getting it backwards? Is Electrike the first one?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
It's a good job you're here live, Rob. Otherwise, your fingers would be burning in the chat right now, naming all these Pokemon.
Okay, and then the last one, and then I'm done.
Oh, that's what Dan needs. That's Brock.
Is that Brock? What? There's a Brock figure.
Yeah, that's that's how he looks in the Hoenn region.
I did not
Or
even
am
know that existed. That's
Who's this
crazy.
one? Yeah, that's Jax as well.
Yeah,
2000.
Sunny in the chat, by the way, saying that Brandon, you need to do a Pokemon video for sure.
Yeah, and would you believe that that top shelf of Pokemon figures is probably worth the same amount of money as the 6 Hasbro Legends and Black Series shelves beneath
That's ridiculous. That can't be true.
Okay, maybe not all 6 shelves, but at least the bottom 3 shelves.
Sunny in the chat, by the way, saying that he sold a base set of Pokemon on eBay last year for 400 quid. Sunny, I reckon if you had waited until this year, mate, I don't want to hurt your feelings, but if you'd waited till this year, you might have got near $1,000 for that if they're in good condition, at least.
Yeah. Wait, let me just find this conversation. So that Pokemon collector that I mentioned earlier, one of my friends, he's in California. We were talking about how the cards have gone crazy, and he said he messaged me the other week. We were talking about it. This number is like eye-watering. Wait for it. We were talking about Pokemon cards, and then he said, hold on. I promise it'd be worth it. I promise. Oh yeah. So I said we were saying about how crazy he goes. It's crazy. My card collection went from about 3 to 5K a year and a half ago. Now it's between 30 and 50K.
Crazy, isn't it? It's crazy.
My goodness.
It's just a boom. It's recently happened. It's crazy boom. So
yeah,
Rob, just curious. After seeing Brandon's collection and all these figures that are available, does it make you itchy? Does seeing other people's collections make you a little bit itchy to at least look and see what?
I mean, a little bit, man.
It does. Yeah, it does. Like even I'm like, I didn't know they'd made that one in this one, and I'll be jumping on eBay later, having a little browse for sure. There's no harm in looking. It's like eBay's like window shopping. You can go in the search and have a little browse. No harm in that. Save it to your save listings. Just the amount of stuff in my save listings that I want and I can't buy is ridiculous. All right,
maybe at least get a Charmander.
I pretty much have all the legendaries in a box upstairs. I got Raikou, Suicune, Entei, Moltres, Zapdos, Articuno.
Yeah. We need a video. We need a video. Yeah. I'll put it on the channel. I'll put it on the channel.
Yeah, I got Dialga, Palkia, and Giratina up there. Yeah, all
nice.
Yeah,
right, we're moving on because we could have done a whole Pokemon video. I didn't know you had so much, Brandon. Right, so I've added this one in here for you, Rob, because I'm hoping you can educate us on this, because I have virtually, apart from the original TV show, I have not any knowledge of this or figures, and I'm assuming you do, but I could be wrong. But I know you're a fan of this, and it is, of course, and they're not the other Star Wars, aka Star Trek.
Yes.
So please tell us, you collect these? What's your fandom for Star Trek?
So my fandom is that it was airing every was it Saturday nights? I can't even remember now. It was syndicated when it first aired, but basically I grew up watching Star Trek: The Next Generation. Like it started in 1987. Sometime around then, I got conscious memory, and I was watching Star Trek ever since. I went back and did the original series. I did Voyager, Deep Space, all of that stuff. So I'm a huge fan of the shows and the movies. And I had the Playmates toys when I was a kid. You can see I still have a couple of them. But Diamond Select, man, that's when I started. Like, I got characters from Enterprise. I just really like Star Trek. It's more about exploring different cultures and helping people be better together. And it's my jam.
Articulated Heroines in the chat says the best Star show.
I would agree. And I'd say, yeah, if I had to rank them, I'd be Star Trek first, Stargate, SG-1, and its spinoff second. And then Star Wars, for me, would probably be third.
Just before I forget, can we pause? I pulled this out of I went upstairs, I went in my box and pulled this out just to show you, Rob. You mentioned it on Twitter. Well, you posted someone's made an actual Stargate on Twitter.
Yes.
And I said to you, as a kid, I grew up, so I actually have this Daniel Stargate figure. Now,
nice.
I had this as a kid, and I loved it just because his name was Daniel, and I loved the concept as a kid of having a figure with my own name on it. So yeah, this was a figure I had as a kid. He went around with me everywhere. He scaled with my Kenner Alien figures, so he was hanging around with the Kenner guys. And Stargate, Daniel, and I have this. I brought this mint on card just to add to my own collection, just for nostalgic purposes. But yeah, there's another
Also,
star.
I was going to say, also Mini Geek's introduction to David Spader long before he played Ultron.
Oh, indeed, yes.
So, but yeah, I'm a big fan of Star Trek. So I assume you guys go ahead.
Oh, well, I was going to say, like, I obviously wear a Star Trek. I've never seen the new films, by the way. I've seen some of the classic ones, but never watched the Chris Pine versions. Never seen any of them. But I was going to say, if someone wanted to get into collecting Star Trek, sorry, where would you go?
Mm-hmm.
Who's done it best?
I mean, who's done it best is Art Asylum and Diamond Select. Beyond a shadow of a doubt, they did it best. But you're going to have more character selection with the Playmates line that was in the 90s, because that was around the 25th anniversary of Star Trek, and the franchise was at its peak pop culture wise. And they were pumping out figures of every possible guest star, every main character, every time the main character switched uniform or to civilian clothes, like all of those were made. So if you wanted to get into it, my recommendation is turn on Netflix, start with Star Trek The Next Generation Season 3. If that season doesn't do it for you, you're probably not going to be a Star Trek fan. But if it does, you now have a ton of toys from the 90s that are all in bargain bins anymore. And you can start building out your collection if that's how you want to go
Are they relatively easy to get on the secondary
At least
market?
here in the States, like every secondhand store, every comic convention is just those Playmates figures fill up the pegs like crazy, and they're usually $5 a piece. The problem with the line in general is that they overproduced so many of them in the 90s, because that was during the collector boom when people were selling trading cards and comics and everything. And collectors thought that the Star Trek toys were going to be like the next big way to cash out when you're time to retire.
Yeah.
And it didn't turn out to be that way. So they're plentiful. They're everywhere. Maybe not in the UK. I don't know. You'll have to check your Forbidden Planet, but I'm sure they're hanging up there.
Yeah, I honestly don't see a lot. That's why I ask. But
okay.
So Star Trek for me, I remember it used to be on Channel 2 before Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. That's how I remember watching it. So I used to sit and watch. After school, I'd watch. It was like on After the Weakest Link or something stupid like that. If you're from the UK, you understand this nonsense I'm gibbering right now.
Oh, I know Weakest Link.
Yeah,
I'm a big fan of Anne, and the Jane Lynch reboot in America right now. I'm watching every.
There you go. So on Channel 2, for whatever reason, it was like Weakest Link at 5:00, and then after that, they'd do an episode of Star Trek, and then they'd do like an episode of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. So I just remember watching them, and that's how I've seen Star Trek. And then I love Futurama. Futurama is one of my favorite shows,
yes.
And they love referencing Star Trek. So I've learned so much about Star Trek through Futurama.
Yeah. Well, there's that great episode where the original series cast even.
Yes.
They reenact the show.
Yeah, I love it. Love it. Yes, I love it. So Brandon, you're again different generation. Is Star Trek something that was ever shown to you?
Never. I knew about. I always knew about Patrick Stewart playing Picard. Picard, right?
Sure. Yep.
Yeah. But other than that, I never. Oh, and this is that's Star Trek, right?
That's right.
Yes.
That's long live and prosper, right?
Live long and prosper.
Live long. I was close.
That's actually a hand sign that Leonard Nimoy came up with on set. He was a Jewish He practiced the Jewish faith, and he said that that's a symbol from his church that they would use when they were like blessing somebody or something like that. And when it came up on the original series that he was going to have to greet somebody, he didn't think Vulcans would handshake because they're all about no emotion and distance. So he came up with the idea with the V and everything that would be how Vulcans greet each other, and that became part of the lexicon since then.
It used to be like in school, could you do this? So if you couldn't do this, you weren't cool.
You know, I learned to do this first because of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and then when I started watching the original series Star Trek, then I was like, oh well, now it's a double purpose.
I learned how to do the eyebrow because of The Rock.
There you go. Oh, you mean that episode of Voyager he guessed on?
Yeah.
So
yeah, which is the best one then? Okay, because obviously I've seen the ones with Patrick Stewart. She's red in
Voyager. Yeah, you're talking about Janeway.
Yes, Janeway, Captain Janeway. That's what it was on the tip of my tongue. But yeah, you know what I meant. She's red in Orange is the New Black.
And Orange is the Black.
Yeah. So I've seen the original one the original cast ones as well. But if you were going, which is the best one? Because Articulated Heroines in the chat is saying some stuff. He's say Lower Decks is new as well, apparently as well.
I love Lower Decks. That's the only modern Trek that I'm really, really behind, and that's a whole nother ball of wax. But Lower Decks is pitch perfect. I think Mike McMahon did everything he needed to really make fans of the original stuff happy. as far as the original like main block of Star Trek, we're talking the original series, Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, Voyager, and Enterprise. I think the best show is actually Star Trek Deep Space Nine. And it takes it till about the end of season 1 with an episode called Duet for them to finally find their footing. But it is far and away the best written Star Trek show, has the best characters, the most diverse cast. It is serialized, but not to a fault, where you can still pop on an episode at random and enjoy it and not feel like you're completely out of the loop on everything. But I would say that's probably the best that Star Trek ever was. My personal favorite is Next Generation, Captain Picard, Worf, Riker, Data. I mean, that was what I grew up watching first. But if you had to pick the best show, Star Trek Deep Space Nine.
Okay, there you go. You heard it here from Rob, people. So obviously me and Brandon don't have much to fit in, but I love being educated.
Absolutely.
So these next ones we're going to jump through quickly because my missus will go mad if I stay on much later, okay? So just want to briefly go through these, see what your fandoms are, see if you collect any of them. And this first one is hopefully going to get a nice little refresh because the film was meant to come out this year, Afterlife, which is a continuation from the original films. But it's been delayed, but still we managed to get some plasma figures. And Ghostbusters, of course, people. Ghostbusters. Now, Ghostbusters is hilarious on this channel because we've all forced Brandon to go back and watch Ghostbusters 1. So I'm hoping, like, I'm assuming, Rob, you're a Ghostbusters fan? Of course he's a Ghostbusters fan. So they're the Diamond Select ones, right?
The Diamond Select Ghostbusters, right? Playmobil. What's that?
I was just saying that's the Diamond Select one. Yeah.
These are the Diamond Select ones. Unfortunately, the face sculpts were pretty awful across the set, but detail-wise on the costume and proton packs, they're awesome.
So have you got
I've got the Playmobil. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, have you got the real Ghostbusters as well in Diamond Select?
I don't.
Okay.
My disappointment with the face sculpts made me not pick up many more of the figures after that.
Okay, no,
but,
they're still nice. Those movie ones are still nice as well. I missed out on them, and I wanted to backtrack and get them. This was before I knew the Plasma series was even a thing, but they were getting harder to get. Like I could get the ones with the slime on. Do you know there's like got variants with slime on? But I was like, I wanted Ghostbusters on my shelf in some degree. I had all the Kenner stuff not the Kenner stuff, the retro stuff as a kid. Was it Kenner? It wasn't Kenner.
It was Kenner.
It was Kenner. Yeah. So I had the Kenner stuff as a kid, the real Ghostbusters and stuff like that. But I wanted the movie ones in figure form, and I loved the idea of the Plasma series. I thought figures that will scale with my Legends, with my Star Wars, with my G.I. Joes, Power Rangers, loved it. So I've brought all of the Plasma series, but they're sitting in a box upstairs. I've not actually opened them up yet. Do you know, like, so
Sure.
A lot of people have been very lukewarm on the Plasma series, if you will.
If I didn't pick up those Diamond Select figures, I probably would have picked up the Plasma series as well. I mean, I've got these if I want to put something on display, but if those Plasma series are warming everywhere where I live, so I may try to sneak in and get those as they get clearanced out.
Yeah, just at least get the 4. So I've got them all. I even brought Tully's Terrible Night, the exclusive.
Oh yeah.
Just because I thought I have the rest. If this is all the line's going to give us, I may as well get it. At least I have 2 Terror Dogs then as well. I am, fingers crossed, hoping for a wave 2, or at least continuation of the Plasma series. I'm hoping that the new film gets some love as well. Even though we've not seen it, if the new film's successful, that usually means more product. So fingers crossed the new film's good. I know it's got, is it Finn Wolfhard?
Finn Wolfhard, he's in it.
And then Paul Rudd's in it as well. And these are people I like. The original cast are all meant to appear in it. Well, the ones that are still here, obviously, are still going to be in it. So good things, hoping for Afterlife, but we shall see. Obviously, the Reitmans are doing it. So, we shall see. Exactly. Yeah. So, because I've seen the all-female one, and it's nothing to do with them all being girls. It's nothing to do about that. It's just not good. It's not Ghostbusters. It's like a wacky spin-off. I don't know.
It's a live-action cartoon is what it is.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you don't get that same feel from the original movie, I think.
Yes. So, collector-wise, I've got Plasma series. Rob's got Diamond Select. Brandon.
I have fond memories from watching the movie a few weeks ago.
Yeah, we can't be mad. We did make Brandon only watch it. But watching the movie didn't make you itchy to get any? Brandon, watching the movie didn't make you itchy to go back and get any, no? No, fine.
I got nowhere to put them, and I didn't want to spend the £80 on it.
Fine, right, fine. Moving on. Right, the next one. Right, this one's a bit. It's not obscure. I just wanted to mention it because I love Jurassic Park. Jurassic Park. I had all of the Kenner toys growing up, and I wanted them as an adult. And I was picking and choosing the 3.5, the 3 3/4 figures. And I've actually in the corner of my display right now, I've got I've got like the Jeep. I was going to pull it down, but it's got such a nice display. I don't want to break it. But anyway, I've got the Jeep with some of the 3 3/4 figures. But I'm all in so far with the with the Amber collection. What Brandon was just showing off essentially. So I have brought every single Amber collection figure they've released so far. So we've got 3 humans. We've got the one Brandon's showing off now, which is Owen, which is of course Chris Pratt. We've got Jeff Goldberg as Ian Malcolm, and then we've got Dennis Nerdy as well, and then we've got like 4 Velociraptors, and then that other dinosaur. What's the dinosaur called that takes on Dennis Nerdy? The one with the
I can't think of its name.
Yeah, you know what I'm on about there. The one with the big flappy out bits. Anyway, so I'm all in for that line.
Barbasol, right?
But what I'm saying about this line is that I've went all in, but I'm panicking because I still need Grant, Ian, and Ellie, and I need the rest of the cast.
Dr. Grant.
Yeah, Dr. Grant and Ellie and Timmy, and I need them all. I want more, but what is it? Metal so they don't tell you. They don't tell us anything. Do you know, like with Marvel Legends, they tease us, they let us what's coming. We know what we're. With Metal, they've got this really nice concept of the Amber collection, but we don't know anything about it. Are we ever going to see more? I don't know.
Well, was Jurassic Park supposed to come out this year, or was it always supposed to come out next year?
It was meant to come out 2021, but it's now been delayed till 2022. So that is what I'm clinging on to, is that all the original cast are appearing in that film. So I'm hoping, and Jurassic Park's one of Mattel's biggest toy lines. So I know the Amber collection is more geared towards adult collector at that scale, but I'm hoping they know that they've still got at least give us some more characters before they call it a day. So
I just want Dr. Grant, and then I don't care what they do, but need that Sam Neill figure.
Yes, like Sam Neill and Laura Dern. We need them both at least.
Yeah, Laura Dern too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, but yeah, that's and I had all the figures as a kid. So I had all the Jurassic Park figures as a kid. I've always been tempted to go back and rebuy them, but they're very pricey. They're very collectible, as you imagine. So,
is that right?
So,
okay.
You were at the right age, Rob, to have these figures as a kid. Did you have the Kenner Jurassic Park stuff growing up?
I played with it at friends' houses, but I never actually owned it myself. But I thought the chunks of the dinosaurs coming out was a pretty cool feature back when I was a kid.
Yeah, they still try and do that now on some of the new ones. Brandon, what about you? Obviously, you're a Jurassic Park fan, but did you ever have any of the figures?
We as a family, we love Jurassic Park for as long as I can remember. It's one of my mum's favorites of all time. I think from Jurassic Park 3, I used to have the little Dr. Grant, Billy, pterodactyls, velociraptors, jeeps, the big T-Rex, the one with the big spinal fin.
Oh, I've got that now.
Really?
In the new collection.
I used to love all of those.
Spinosaur or something weird like that.
Something like that. Yeah. So Jurassic Park was big for me, and as you know, I've got Blue and Owen at the moment because they're a nice pairing. So I would probably do those two, and then I would probably get. I've got Ian Malcolm somewhere, and then I just need Alan and Ellie, and then I'm done.
I have all the Velociraptors so far. I just need Echo. Echo's the new one that's just been revealed. So I need Echo, and then I've got Echo, Delta, Blue, and Charlie. Then I've got all 4. So, but I haven't even opened any of them yet, though. They're just upstairs in a box because I'm like, I don't want to open them if I think this line's dead, because then I'm like, what's the point of just displaying having half a display? It makes no sense. But anyway, I wanted to mention that because I love Jurassic Park.
Blue is like fundamentally, it's just an absolutely amazing piece of engineering for plastic.
Oh yeah, that scales with Legends and anything as well. That's just a really nice Velociraptor. Yeah. Right. So let's move on. This one again, we could have a whole show on this one. And again, I've not spoke to you, Rob, about these. Or Brandon, I sort of occasionally do, but it's Mezco Toys. So obviously we can talk about the 112 Collective because I know the US collectors love this line. But I like the idea of it, but it's not something I've jumped on, mainly because of the price point, to be honest. So, Brandon, you're showing them off. So who have you got, Brandon, in the Mezco line?
So in the other room, I've got Doctor Strange, Captain America, and Iron Man comic versions. I've then got Black Panther, Captain Marvel, and Thor Ragnarok MCU versions. And then I've got Old Man Logan and Young Man Logan and Magneto as comic versions, all from Mezco.
Yeah, so you've got a nice little handful.
Nice.
Rob, have you got any Mezco?
Sadly, no. I would love to have their Star Trek line. That was pretty good looking. But no, I haven't collected any of the 112 figures.
Similar to yourself, Rob, by the way. I have none. I had the Punisher, the original release one, but it got really high on the aftermarket. I managed to sell it for like 300 quid. And I paid like...
Punisher?
Yeah. The Mezco Punisher, yeah. £300 on eBay. I brought it for £70 and sold it for £300.
When?
A few months ago.
No, I sold mine a month ago for like 110.
What? No, £300.
Oh.
Got to be patient, my friend. Got to be patient.
Fun story. My gateway into Mezco was not Mezco. It was this guy.
Okay, I didn't even know he was Mezco.
No, it's not Mezco. So this is the Storm Collectibles Muhammad Ali.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this was my first experience of soft goods on a figure.
Oh, that's where you're going with this. I was like, that's not a Mezco.
Because it comes with the shorts, and then it comes with the like dressing gown as well, the robe. And after I got this, I was like, oh man, I need to see what this Mezco stuff is about.
My first experience with soft goods on a figure.
Yeah. and then after I think I got Cat first, maybe, from Mezco, and then I was like, I went on a binge for about 6 months, and then I've slowed down since.
Yeah, the chat are sort of on the same page. Where US, this is massive in the UK, in the US, but in the UK not so much. They're not that hard to get in the UK. You just have to wait a little bit longer, I think, because obviously we can't order direct with Mezco, and obviously in Mezco you can go direct through their site. The only one I've got left is Blade. I've got Blade in a box upstairs, and again,
it's a good one.
Yeah, it is a nice one, but it's one of them where if someone's going to offer me a decent price for it, I'd probably let it go. But I keep saying that, but in parallel, it's like, no, don't sell it. Keep hold of it. It's a good one. So, yeah, I don't know. It's too expensive, too rich for my blood. And the idea of clothes on that scale, again, like, it's not like if they're doing any characters that I need on my shelf. Like all these weird characters they're doing, I don't need. I don't have no nostalgia for them.
Bomber jacket, man.
Yeah, no, it looks good. Don't get me wrong. It's just...
I
already have Captain Marvel.
I just choked.
But all right, so there's that one. Hang on, my little TV's gone off, so I can't.
Gentlemen, I'm gonna have to step out soon. I'm holding up dinner at the house.
Not a problem, my friend. Not a problem. Right, we can wrap it up. Let me see what the last one was. We've sort of the next couple were just imports and stuff anyway, and we have briefly talked about them. But let's just end on this one because it's the big one. And I say big one as in because it's a rich man's game, and I have zero. I have absolutely none of them. But we're talking about collecting, and you can't not talk about hot toys. So, Brandon, are you going to secretly pick up the camera and then go and show us a whole room of hot toys?
No, I'm not. I did have at one point. I had 3 hot toys. I had Steve Rogers from Captain America: The Winter Soldier in his civilian outfit.
Nice.
I had Tony Stark in his mechanic outfit, not mechanic, his like workshop outfit.
Iron Man 3 outfit.
Iron Man 3 in the workshop with the dummy droid and all that kind of stuff.
Nice.
And the workshop table. And then I had this last one. I sold the other 2 because it got to a point where they were taking up too much space. I wasn't going to get into Hot Toys full time. And I just was like, no. And I had SH Figure Arts versions that were basically smaller anyway. But I kept this one because of how special it is. And also, remember at the beginning I said today is also a very special day?
Yes.
Yeah.
So November 12th, 2018, sadly, this fantastic man left us.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I didn't remember that.
But this is the only Hot Toys that I have left, and I have a nice 6-inch.
If you're only gonna have one Hot Toys figure amongst the Marvel collection, then you have picked wisely, my friend. That is a legendary icon, And yeah, that's a great representation of him to forever live on your shelf. Yeah, very nice.
It's not Hot Toys, but the only other 1/12 scale figure I have is in the same chair like this, sitting opposite him, and it's Steve Jobs.
I really wanted to
Nice.
I really wanted to get the Stan Lee in the spacesuit from the Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Yeah. Just because I thought it was a fun, wacky figure as a one-off type thing. But yeah, Hot Toys I've always been very intrigued on. But as I said, it's a rich man's game.
Yeah, cool.
But yeah, let's wrap it up, people, because as I said, I don't want to get Rob in trouble. We do appreciate you joining us for longer than we expected, as we had a little glitch halfway through. So thank you very much, Rob, for joining us. Honestly, much appreciated talking toys.
Rob.
Yes, thanks for having me. This has been fun, guys.
Of course, and of course, you're welcome back as well. We'll have to sort it out very soon. But tell the people where they can find you.
One of my favorites in a long time.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, no, this has been a fun show to talk about everything else.
Exactly, just divert away from. I love talking Legends. It's the bread and butter of the channel. Of course, we always will talk about Legends. But again, we're fans of many other things, and it's been fun to just skim through them as we have today. Because let's be honest, we could do a whole video on each one of these as a topic and hold, you know. So
absolutely.
Yeah, but tell the people where they can find you online, Rob.
You guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at D21Beast, and I'm also on YouTube at D21Beast Reviews or Rob Pollock. I forget how it aggregates it, but I'm not very active anymore. But be on the lookout for just a winter collection video, probably December, January time, just to update on.
That'd be very good. That'd be good to see. I always love seeing other people's collections and stuff. And again, if you have been buying Legends recently, Rob, do yourself a little top 10 at the end of the year. People love those top 10 lists. Do you know what I mean? So.
They do.
But all your links, by the way, Rob, they're in the description of this video. Obviously, you can see Rob's Twitter, Instagram on the screen, and then links to Rob's channel are in the description below. So make sure you go and subscribe, show some love. And then, as always, we've got Brandon, aka Hero.collections. Where can they find you, Brandon? Where can they find you? Apart from here, every single week.
As always, the best place is on Instagram, guys, at Hero.collections.
Beautiful.
And thanks for having me as always. And Rob, really enjoyed having you on today, bud.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much to both of you. I apologise about the little hiccup. No idea what it was. No clue. YouTube still hates me. Simple as that. That's all it is. Simple as that. But thank you very much to everyone sticking around, by the way, because we at least had 50 people come back to us eventually. So it is much appreciated. And again, always nice seeing the regulars and whatnot. And next week's topic, Brandon, I think will be everything that gets revealed tomorrow. Probably. Yeah. So that was easy for us to do. So
tomorrow's the Mandalorian episode.
Oh yes, okay. Oh, do you know what? I've finished rewatching the first season of Mandalorian, so I'm going to catch up on season 2.
Yeah.
So next week we can actually have a little Mandalorian discussion if you want. All right. So all right.
Absolutely.
But yeah, we'll get back to it next week. But until then, people, look after yourself, gentlemen. Thank you, everyone, who's in the chat. As always, people, you can find me Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, all that good stuff. I will be doing the long-awaited Age of Apocalypse review will be coming this week, I promise you. I'm going to open all those figures and review Sugar Man and hopefully give you a little bit of history on Age of Apocalypse. I might have to get Rob to help me out with that. But yes, but yes, it will be done. But yes, thank you to you both. Thank you to chat. And as always, people, my name's been Dan W, and we shall see you